Welcome to Chinese Novel Audiobook. Chapter 41 Being Looked Down On. Self-imagination is the most deadly. In an instant, Jiraiya's image reappeared in Tsunade's mind. Go and tell them first. I've already promised you that I'll come here every year to watch the flowers with you. I won't break my promise. Besides, I haven't even seen you take a bath yet, so how could I put myself in danger? Jiraiya said half-jokingly, glancing at Tsunade's bust. He and Tsunade already have a very close relationship now, and making such jokes will not annoy Tsunade, but will instead enhance their relationship. Also, although the invading enemy is very strong, he has an eye of insight and can always pay attention to the opponent's actions. With his current physical skills, it should be no problem for him to slip away before they get close enough. If you dare not keep your promise, I promise to beat you to the ground. Tsunade said as she pumped her fist before performing the body flicker technique and leaving the spot, heading towards the medicine garden. Jiraiya also used the body flicker technique, retreated a distance, then jumped onto a tree and continued to watch the group of ninjas from the Rain country. Soon the group of ninjas arrived at the junction. Without any hesitation, they crossed the border. So decisive, it seems like it has been planned for a long time. Seeing this scene, Jiraiya took out a shuriken with a blasting talisman hanging on it. In fact, Jiraiya had already predicted that ninjas would attack the medicine garden here. After all, World War II is about to break out. The Rain country is now filled with ninjas from various forces. And Konoha's medicine garden is so close to the border. It would be strange if there was no force planning to take over this place. After all, after they succeeded, they hid in the chaotic Rain country, and it would be extremely difficult for Konoha to find them. After this group of ninjas advanced a distance, Jiraiya injected a stream of chakra into the blasting talisman, activated it, and threw it forward. Boom! With a loud bang, a big hole was blown out in the land ahead. Jiraiya, this is a warning. The reason why this was not done in advance was because the other party had not yet set foot into the territory of the Fire Nation. It's powerful, but the price is too expensive. Looking at the huge crater blown out in front of him, Jiraiya was quite satisfied with the power of the blasting talisman. But the price is very expensive. Only ninjas from major families can afford it. Lower-class civilian ninjas can hardly afford to buy it, unless they are very powerful civilian ninjas. It can be said to be frighteningly expensive. The blasting talisman that Jiraiya is using now was bought for him by Tsunade. It is very cool to have a rich woman friend. It would be even better if I could have a rich wife. He used the blasting talisman as a warning because he wanted to see the power of the blasting talisman. The sound of the blasting talisman exploding was heard. The ninja team that was advancing towards the medicine garden suddenly stopped. Captain, that's the sound of the blasting talisman detonating. Could it be that someone else came to snatch Konoha's herbs today, and a battle has broken out with the Konoha shinobi? An elite Chunin spoke up. Captain, what should we do now? Another Chunin said. Continue to carry out the mission. The more chaotic the situation is, the better it is for us. One Jonin hesitated for a moment, then made up his mind. This group of ninjas all came from some small ninja villages, which is why they dared to choose to attack Konoha. It was the Rain Shinobi village in the Land of Rain that supported them and gave them extremely high rewards. One of the leading Jonin is the Jonin from Rain Shinobi village in the Land of Rain. The Kingdom of Wind, the Kingdom of Earth, and the Kingdom of Fire sent ninjas to infiltrate the border of the Kingdom of Rain. The ninjas of the Rain country have naturally noticed it, and they also know what the three major countries are planning. The Rain country is also ready for war, so today they plan to seize Konoha's medicinal herbs first. Even if they fail, these ninjas are all from small villages, and it is easy for them, the Rain country, to shift the blame. This group of ninjas continued to move forward. Hearing the sound of the blasting talisman exploding, Tsunade, who was hurrying on her way, couldn't help but look back, her eyes full of worry. Everyone gather and follow me to the junction. The sound of the explosive talisman traveled far away, and Hitaki Tsukumo, who was stationed in the camp, could naturally hear it. He quickly walked out of the house and shouted. Then he took the lead and rushed towards the junction. The rest of the Konoha shinobi and Orochimaru, without any hesitation, followed closely behind. Hitaki Tsukumo was extremely fast and soon left Orochimaru and the others behind. Now there is the sound of detonating talismans at the border junction. It is very likely that an enemy crossed the border and a battle broke out with Jiraiya and his men. Ding Yi, there is a Chunin kid in front of you on the left, go and kill him. The Rain Country Jonin who led the group sensed Jiraiya's presence and gave an order to an elite Chunin. Elite Chunin, codenamed Ding Yi, nodded, left the team, and rushed towards the direction where Jiraiya was. As for the other ninjas, they bypassed Jiraiya's location and continued on their way forward. After you kill him, quickly rejoin us. Another Jonin ordered in a cold voice. It won't take too long to take down a Chunin, don't worry. Ding Yi said very confidently. The ninjas from these small ninja villages gathered in the Land of Rain are all the elites in each small ninja village, and there is not a single useless one. Otherwise, the Jonin of the Rain Country would not dare to directly come and seize Konoha's strategic resources. I feel looked down upon. Seeing only one elite Chunin rushing towards him, Jiraiya shook his head. Jiraiya took off the thunder fire blade hanging from his waist and removed the bandage. It's a good opportunity to test the power of the thunder and fire blade. You didn't run away when you saw me. Did I scare you out of your wits? When elite Chunin approached, he saw Jiraiya standing on the tree, took off the mask on his face, smiled wildly, and revealed a cruel look. He is a big bearded man with many scars on his face, and he is also a battle-hardened ninja. I'm so sorry for you. The first time you see blood, you're such a fool. Jiraiya whispered to the thunder fire blade. You little brat, you dare to look down on me. I'm going to crush your head to pieces later. Ding instantly became furious and formed seals with his hands, then spewed a straight line of flames at Jiraiya. It is the dragon fire technique, a ninjutsu commonly used in fire style. Jiraiya stood still, raised the thunderfire blade in his hand, and slashed at the flames in front. Chapter 42, Easily Killed. The thunder fire blade hit the flame, and in just a moment, half of the chakra contained in the flame was directly absorbed by the thunder fire blade. Even the scorching high temperature of the fire-style ninjutsu could be absorbed by the thunder fire blade. The next second, the flames dissipated. Dragon fire technique is only AC level fire-style ninjutsu, and the chakra contained in it is not much. After half of it was absorbed by the thunder fire blade, the remaining chakra naturally could not sustain the ninjutsu. In other words, as long as the fire style and lightning style below level are hit by the thunder fire blade, they will be directly broken. When elite Chunin saw his ninjutsu being broken by a ninja tool, his pupils shrank involuntarily. What a special ninja tool. It can actually absorb chakra directly from ninjutsu. Could this brat be a core member of a major Konoha clan? No wonder you're not afraid of me when you see me. Ding completed a lot of imagination in an instant. Ordinary civilian ninjas simply cannot obtain it. But he did not feel afraid, instead he was very excited. Because if he kills Jiraiya, this special ninja tool can be his. He pulled out a shuriken, used the body flicker technique and moved towards Jiraiya in close combat. He is a ninja from a small ninja village and does not know many ninjutsu. Since the ninja tools in Jiraiya's hands can absorb the chakra of ninjutsu, continuing to use ninjutsu will only waste chakra. As ninjas from a small ninja village, they were able to practice only a limited number of ninjutsu, so they all focused on training in physical skills. Idiot. Seeing that the other party wanted to fight him in close combat, Jiraiya sneered in his heart. It's as if he's not dying fast enough. During these days of patrolling, he got another 3 years of physical training. His physical training was almost at the top among the Chunin. Jiraiya also used the body flicker technique and rushed towards Ding Yi. The two men were in mid-air, controlling each other's ninja tools to chop at each other, then they separated in an instant and fell to the ground. Ah! There was a scream, a blood mist splashed in the air, and a broken arm holding a sword fell to the ground. The fracture was extremely smooth, and blood kept gushing out, instantly dyeing the surrounding soil red. Scarface Chunin's expression was distorted by extreme pain, and fear was revealed in his eyes. What a fast speed! Thinking back to Jiraiya's knife attack just now, Scarface Chunin was now filled with fear. Without any hesitation, he used the body flicker technique and fled into the distance. Scarface can be said to be a veteran of many battles. After seeing Jiraiya's previous blow, he knew that he was no match for Jiraiya. You have to run fast, if you run too slowly you will die. It doesn't look too stupid. Jiraiya chuckled and used the body flicker technique to transform into a trail of afterimages and chase after him. Although Scarface Chunin ran as fast as he could, in Jiraiya's eyes, he was just like a turtle, running too slowly. But in just a moment, Jiraiya caught up with it and cut it down with another sword. Then a stream of blood splashed out. Scarface Chunan's head shot up into the sky. Plop! Scarface Chunan's headless body fell to the ground. It looks like he's not a ninja from a large ninja village. Jiraiya shook off the blood on the thunder fire blade and thought indifferently. He had seen the elite Chunin of Konoha village in action, and he was much more powerful than the Scarface Chunin. Scarface Chunin, in addition to the amount of chakra contained in his body, has reached the level of elite Chunin, and the ninjutsu and taijutsu he has mastered are very ordinary. It can basically be confirmed that he is a ninja from a small ninja village or a wandering ninja. But there was one thing that Jiraiya found very strange. It stands to reason that ninjas from small ninja villages or wandering ninjas would never have the courage to attack Konoha shinobi. Unless they are an old man who wants to hang himself because he thinks his life is too long. There should be a big force taking the lead, but I don't know which one it is. Jiraiya quickly figured out the trick. He kicked the scar-faced corpse away and then chased after the invading ninjas. Tsunade, where is Jiraiya? Hitaki Sakumo, who went to provide support, soon met Tsunade. When he found that Jiraiya was not there, he frowned and asked quickly. Captain, there is an enemy invasion. Jiraiya chose to stay and investigate the enemy's movements. Let's go and support him quickly. Tsunade quickly said to Hitaki Sakumo, then turned around and quickly went back. Tsunade, you stay here and wait for Sarutobi Jiro and the others to arrive, then rush over together. Hitaki Sakumo ordered Tsunade. Jiraiya asked me to come and report the news so that I could be safer. Now that I have delivered the message, how can I let him be in danger alone? I have to go back and support him as soon as possible. Tsunade answered neatly. She was now very worried about Jiraiya's safety and wanted to rush to Jiraiya's side immediately. Hitaki Sakumo showed some appreciation in his eyes and said nothing more. That little devil actually caught up with us. Dingyi's chakra aura has disappeared. It seems that he has been killed by this little devil. The Jonin of Rain Shinobi village were a little surprised when they noticed Jiraiya catching up. Dingyi is such a loser that he could be killed by a Chunin. The other Jonin cursed. This kid was able to take care of Dingyi so quickly, he must be quite powerful. We underestimated him before. Ja-san, you two should work together to take care of him. Remember, don't be careless. The Jonin of Rain Shinobi village once again gave the order. Immediately, two Chunin broke away from the team and rushed towards Jiraiya. How dare you look down on me? Jiraiya was very unhappy when he noticed two Chunin rushing towards him. It was obvious that the other party still did not take him seriously. Kid, I don't know how you killed Dingyi so quickly, but you are doomed to die when you meet me. I have never killed a Konoha shinobi before, so I have to kill him today. Don't waste any more time talking nonsense. Let's get rid of him quickly. Don't waste time here. Our goal is to seize the herbs. The two Chunin intercepted Jiraiya and spoke one after another, then they quickly formed hand seals and used ninjutsu to attack Jiraiya. Water style. Wind style. A column of water and several wind blades attacked Jiraiya. Earth style earth flow wall. Jiraiya slammed the ground and a wall of earth rose up instantly, easily blocking the two ninjutsu attacks. Jiraiya is now performing earth style earth flow wall, and the condensed soil layer is already more than 1 meter thick. It is impossible to break it with one blow using ordinary ninjutsu. Then Jiraiya immediately performed the body flicker technique, came to the right side of the two ninjas, injected fire attribute chakra into the thunder fire blade, swung it, and quickly formed seals with both hands. Fire style flame tiger. Jiraiya said softly, and saw the thunder fire blade swaying slightly, and a large amount of fire attribute chakra was suddenly released. Chapter 43 Hitaki Sakumo's Strength. A large amount of fire attribute chakra emanated from the thunder fire blade and spread to the surroundings, and the air immediately became hot. The grass and surrounding trees were instantly set on fire. Roar. Suddenly a tiger roar was heard, and the fire attributed chakra in the air condensed into a flaming tiger. The flaming tiger seemed to be cast from magma, flashing red light, looking majestic and emitting extremely hot heat. A fierce tiger appeared and rushed towards the two Chunin to bite them. The tiger pounced extremely quickly. Before the two Chunin could react, the tiger had already rushed in front of them and swallowed them both. Ah! Ah! Two screams were heard, and Chunin, who was devoured by the tiger, was engulfed in flames. In just a moment, he was burned to ashes, without even a bone left. The fire-style flame tiger released by the thunder fire blade is as powerful as A-level ninjutsu. Killing the elite Chunin from 2 small ninja villages in seconds is naturally a piece of cake. After killing 2 elite Chunin, Jiraiya looked calm without any emotion, as if he had just killed 2 ants. Jiraiya stretched out his hand and used chakra to pull back the thunder fire blade, then chased after the enemy force once again. What a powerful brat, he managed to kill Bing-er and Ja-san so quickly. He is definitely not an ordinary Chunin. He should be a core disciple of one of Konoha's powerful families. He has mastered extremely powerful secret techniques. Noticing that Jiraiya was catching up quickly again, the Rain Shinobi village leader Jonin was extremely surprised. After taking out 3 elite Chunins in quick succession, he already has Jonin's strength. What a troublesome little brat. Let me do it myself this time. The other Jonin said coldly, looking at Jiraiya with greed in his eyes. They are all ninjas from small ninja villages and do not have any powerful ninjutsu. If he could really kill the core disciples of the Konoha family, he might be able to gain extremely powerful ninjutsu and raise his strength to a new level. This time he agreed to the recruitment of the Rain country and took the risk to rob the supplies of the Fire country in order to obtain powerful ninjutsu. How dare you invade Konoha territory and seek death? Suddenly a cold voice sounded, and a white shadow was seen breaking into the group of ninjas gathered in the Rain country. Puff, puff. Then there was a flash of knife light, and 2 elite Chunin's heads flew up and they lost their lives instantly. They died without seeing clearly who killed them. The one who made the move was Hitaki Tsukumo. What a fast knife technique! Jiraiya exclaimed. He now has his eye of insight open all the time, so he can see clearly every move of Hitaki Tsukumo. The speed of the knife is simply extreme. The Hitaki clan is just a small clan in Konoha. They don't have many ninjas and don't have any powerful bloodlines. The emergence of a genius like Hitaki Tsukumo can be called a miracle. The swordsmanship that Hitaki Tsukumo practiced was the swordsmanship passed down from his ancestors. It's not some advanced sword technique. If it were about superb swordsmanship, the Hitaki clan would have become famous in Konoha long ago. But even ordinary swordsmanship became extremely powerful in the hands of Hitaki Tsukumo. Many people say that the reason why Hitaki Tsukumo is so strong is because of the swordsmanship passed down in his family. However, Jiraiya disagrees with this statement. He believes that it was not the swordsmanship of his ancestors that made Hitaki Tsukumo successful, but Hitaki Tsukumo who made the swordsmanship left by his ancestors successful. After the Jonin of Rain Shinobi village discovered Hitaki Tsukumo, he quickly formed seals with his hands, performed a water-style technique, and attacked Hitaki Tsukumo. Hitaki Tsukumo used the body flicker technique to easily dodge the water-style attack, and took the opportunity to swing the white fang knife in his hand and pierce the heart of another elite Chunin. Seeing this scene, the Jonin of Rain Shinobi village couldn't help but twitch their eyelids rapidly. Hitaki Tsukumo's speed is really too fast. The strength of the ninjas stationed here in Konoha far exceeded their expectations. Now there was not even a single herb to be seen, and their number had been almost halved. Especially the sudden appearance of Jonin in front of him put him under great pressure. He just exchanged glances with Hitaki Tsukumo and found the other's eyes to be extremely terrifying. When the other person looked at him, it was as if he was looking at a dead person. It seemed that the other party had already regarded him as a dead man. This is a manifestation of extreme confidence in one's own strength. He knew that this Jonin of Konoha might not be very old, but his strength was definitely not weak. Plus, the extremely powerful Chunin, the Jonin of Rain Shinobi village, no longer thinks highly of their operation and is already considering retreating. He originally thought that the elite Chunin gathered from various small ninja villages could compete with the ninjas of Konoha, but he did not expect such a situation. They still thought too simply about Konoha's ninjas. The rest of the elite Chunin became panicked when they saw their companions die one after another in a very short period of time. Some even slowly retreated towards the border. They and Konoha were not dead, and they came to steal the herbs because they were recruited by the Rain country. The current enemy is so powerful that they will not choose to fight to the death with the Konoha shinobi. But they did not flee immediately. Because they were recruited by the Rain country, if they fled in the face of the enemy, they would definitely be hunted down by the Rain country ninjas in the future. If you dare to escape, you know what will happen to you. The Jonin of Rain Shinobi village said coldly. They are indeed a group of unreliable guys. Regardless of whether the mission is successful or not, they have to be killed. The ninjas from these small villages were destined to die when they were recruited by the Rain country. In order to prevent secrets from being leaked, the Rain country would not let them live and would definitely kill them. Ryuga, go and kill that Chunin brat, then come and help me. The Jonin of Rainman village gave an order to the other Jonin. Can't wait to take action. Longya licked his lips and rushed towards Jiraiya. Whoosh! Noticing Ryuga's movements, Hitaki Tsukumo immediately threw a shuriken at him, moving towards him to intercept, and then said coldly, "Your opponent is me." When he came, he was worried that something might have happened to Jiraiya. Now that he saw Jiraiya was safe and sound, he felt relieved and naturally would not let the other Jonin attack Jiraiya again. Longya dodged the shuriken sideways without saying a word. He turned his head to look at Hitaki Tsukumo, his eyes revealing deep fear. "Leave him to me. It will be a bit difficult for you to fight against two Jonin alone." Jiraiya performed the body flicker technique and jumped next to Hitaki Tsukumo and spoke. Although Hitaki Tsukumo is strong now, he is still far from reaching the peak of his strength. Fighting against two Jonin at the same time, even if you can win, it will definitely be extremely difficult and may even cost you something. "Can you?" Hitaki Tsukumo asked while looking at Jiraiya. He didn't expect Jiraiya to dare to say such a thing. In his opinion, Jiraiya is a loser who has no ambition and is always looking for opportunities to peak. But now he had the courage to challenge Jonin, which surprised him. In fact, Tsunade was talking about Jiraiya staying behind to cover their retreat. He was very surprised. He had been stationed here for a long time, and he didn't know how Jiraiya had behaved in the village recently. "Then let's see who can kill the other Jonin first." Jiraiya replied calmly. He intends to answer Hitaki Tsukumo's doubts about him with his strength. Chapter 44, Battle Against Jonin. "If you can't hold on, call me anytime." Hitaki Tsukumo nodded and said, holding the white fanged short blade in his hand, and killed the Jonin of Rain Shinobi village. After Hitaki Tsukumo injected chakra into the white fanged short blade, it became white and shiny, emitting a bright white light. The white fanged short blade is also forged from a special metal and can easily channel chakra. The Jonin of Rain Shinobi village could tell that Hitaki Tsukumo was very good at close combat. He didn't want to engage in close combat with Hitaki Tsukumo, so he quickly retreated and formed seals with his hands, preparing to attack with ninjutsu. But Hitaki Tsukumo was too fast. Before he could complete the seal, Hitaki Tsukumo had already arrived in front of him and slashed him with his sword. He had no choice but to stop making hand seals, and instead drew out the samurai sword behind him, and engaged in close combat with White Fang. From this we can see how important the speed of forming seals is. The rest of the elite Chunin scattered around and began to form hand seals and perform ninjutsu to attack Hitaki Tsukumo. Because they believe that the threat posed by Hitaki Tsukumo is far greater than that of Jiraiya and must be dealt with first. Many elite Chunin launched attacks together, but Hitaki Tsukumo still easily dodged them with his extremely fast speed. What a terrifying speed! Our ninjutsu can't hit him at all. Who knows the ninjutsu to trap the enemy? Use it now. As long as we can trap him for a while, we can immediately focus our fire and kill him. Damn, that's very clear. He's so fast. Even if we know the ninjutsu to trap the enemy, how can we trap him? The elite Chunin immediately started talking. All of them were shocked by Hitaki Tsukumo's speed. Kid, you are really capable of killing those three losers so quickly, but it is extremely stupid for you to challenge me just like that. Next I will let you know how terrible the gap between Chunin and Jonin is. Longya looked at Jiraiya and said sinisterly. Your last words are really boring. Jiraiya said with a slight smile. He used the body flicker technique and controlled the lightning and fire blade to chop towards the dragon tooth. His sign in reward yesterday was a set of basic swordsmanship. Although his current knife skills are not as good as Hitaki Tsukumo, they are definitely not bad. Ryuga also drew his katana and went to meet Jiraiya. At the same time, he chopped at the opponent. Bang! A sound of metal breaking was heard, and the samurai sword in Longya's hand was directly cut off by the thunder and fire blade. There was also a tiny wound on his cheek, and blood was dripping out. If Ryuga hadn't tilted his head so quickly, Jiraiya's knife would have cut off half of his head. Because the samurai sword has no blocking effect on the thunder and fire blade at all. What a fast knife! Longya's eyelids twitched, he reached out to touch the blood on his cheek, and cold sweat broke out on his back. If he turned his head a little slower, he would have been killed. The reason why this situation occurs. That's because Longya doesn't know much about the Thunderfire blade. If he had known that the Thunderfire blade was so sharp, he would definitely not have used an ordinary samurai sword to block it. Unless he wants to learn how to use a kunai to stab Susanoo. As expected of a Jonin, your reaction is really quick. Jiraiya said silently in his heart. If it was Chunin, there would be no way to dodge that knife just now. Jiraiya injected fire attribute chakra into the thunder fire blade, and the thunder fire blade turned red, as if it was made of lava. Astonishingly high temperatures began to radiate. Jiraiya continued to hold the knife and kill Ryuga. With such an astonishingly high temperature, as long as he could hit the dragon's fang once, a part of the opponent's flesh and blood would be turned into charcoal. Since Ryuga didn't have any weapon that could counter the thunder and fire blade, and Jiraiya's swordsmanship was also elusive. Longya was directly suppressed by Jiraiya and could only dodge awkwardly without any chance to fight back. As for forming hand seals to launch ninjutsu attacks, Ryuga was simply unable to do it. Jiraiya's attack speed was too fast, not giving Ryuga any chance to cast seals. I didn't expect he also knows Grandmaster swordsmanship. On the other side, Hitaki Tsukumo distractedly glanced at Jiraiya. I was surprised to find that Jiraiya can also use a knife. What surprised him even more was that Jiraiya was actually able to entangle a Jonin and gain a clear advantage. It was totally beyond his expectation. Damn, I don't know who spread the rumor that Jiraiya was the last one. Ah! A heart-wrenching scream was heard, and Longya's right shoulder became extremely charred, and the smell of burnt meat filled the air. No matter how tight the defense is, there will always be loopholes. Just now, Jiraiya seized Ryuga's weakness and cut a hole in his shoulder. Longya's face was now distorted with pain. Fire-style random fire. The intense pain seemed to have stimulated his potential, or perhaps he felt the threat of death. Ryuga's hand seal speed was even faster than before he was injured. Under Jiraiya's attack, he actually launched a ninjutsu attack. A large amount of fire attribute chakra condensed in his mouth, and 5 fireballs the size of washbasins spewed out of his mouth. Fire chakra nature transformation is the most common nature transformation. The most common ninjas are those who are good at fire style. Jiraiya slashed forward, cutting through the 5 fireballs and instantly sucking away half of their chakra. The 5 fireballs dissipated immediately. The fire style performed by Ryuga is also an ordinary fire style ninjutsu. Having lost half of his chakra, he naturally couldn't maintain it anymore. What a powerful ninja tool. Realizing that the thunder fire blade could directly intercept chakra from ninjutsu, Ryuga's eyes lit up. Such a powerful ninja tool. It was simply too much to waste in the hands of a Chunin. Only a Jonin like him is worthy of owning such a ninja tool. Fire style fire technique. Longya formed seals with his hands and released a fire style once again. A large amount of fire attribute chakra spewed out of his mouth and spread around as he completed the last seal. Many suspended fireballs appeared around Jiraiya, and then smashed towards Jiraiya from all directions at the same time. The fireball had sealed off the surroundings, leaving no room for Jiraiya to dodge. The ninjutsu that Ryuga is currently performing is already the strongest ninjutsu he has mastered, but it is still a B-level ninjutsu. However, among B-level ninjutsu, it is already top-notch. You knew that my ninja tools could absorb fire-style jutsu, yet you still attacked me with fire-style. I don't know how you became a Jonin. Jiraiya looked at Ryuga with a mocking look. Knife dance. Jiraiya held the thunderfire blade and spun it at high speed. Sword dance is the physical sword technique he acquired yesterday. The fireballs came crashing down, and Jiraiya broke them one by one, breaking them into sparks that disappeared into the air. Chapter 45 Tsunade's Worry. The physical technique of sword dance can stimulate the body through chakra, making the body faster, so as to swing the sword quickly. This is the same as most physical techniques. However, there is no chakra nature transformation, it simply attacks the enemy with ninja tools. Ryuga saw that his powerful ninjutsu was easily broken once again. His brows furrowed. He didn't expect that the ninja tools in Jiraiya's hands were so powerful. Even B-level ninjutsu can be absorbed directly. The dragon fire technique he had used before was only a C-rank ninjutsu. But the ninjutsu he was performing now was a B-level ninjutsu, and it was also absorbed. This shocked him deeply. His eyes became serious. He knew that the Chunin brat in front of him was as powerful as a Jonin. It's just that the chakra contained in his body has not reached the level of Jonin. Ryuga plans to fight a protracted war with Jiraiya. Jiraiya was exhausted to death. As a Jonin, his chakra content far exceeded that of Chunin. The amount of chakra in Jiraiya's body right now is indeed only at the Chunin level. But you have to know that he has a sage body, which is extremely powerful and can continuously refine chakra. There are two sources of chakra. One is that it is extracted from the cells in the body, and the second is that it is extracted from spiritual energy. If the mental energy is completely exhausted, the ninja will fall into a coma. When the chakra in the cells is completely consumed, the ninja will die. With sage body, the cells in the body will become extremely active and full of vitality, so no matter how the chakra is refined, it will not lead to death. But it is precisely because of this that sage body's self-healing ability is so terrifying. In other words, Jiraiya performed a ninjutsu that depleted half of the chakra in his body, but in just a few breaths, he was able to replenish the chakra. If Jiraiya knew what was in Ryuga's mind, Jiraiya is sure to get a few laughs. Compared with sage body's consumption, it's really stubborn. Earth-style earth and rock gun. Ryuga formed seals once again, but this time he did not use the fire-style ninjutsu. After forming the seals, he slapped the ground, and several high ridges appeared on the ground, spraying out dirt and rocks, which condensed into earth spears and shot towards Jiraiya. I will then absorb the ignition attribute chakra and release the fire-style flame tiger. As long as I can hit the target, even if I can't kill the opponent, I can at least seriously injure him. Jiraiya, who was hiding behind the earth wall, said with the thunder fire blade in his hand. He is still continuously injecting fire attribute chakra into the thunder fire blade. Fire-style flame tiger ninjutsu. The more fire chakra the thunder fire blade absorbs, the more powerful it becomes. If a sufficient amount of fire attribute chakra can be absorbed, the power can be close to S-level fire-style ninjutsu. This time, no ninja tool was used to break the ninjutsu. Is it because the earth-style ninjutsu cannot be absorbed, or the chakra absorbed by the ninja tool has reached its limit? Longya speculated in his mind. Fire-style fire technique. Dragon Fang once again spewed out a large amount of fire attribute chakra, which spread to the surroundings. He now felt that the ninja tool in Jiraiya's hand had reached its absorption limit. Once again, he performed a fire-style attack. After all, this fire-style ninjutsu is the most powerful ninjutsu he has mastered. There are no blind spots and the opponent has no chance to dodge at all. He had used this jutsu before and killed several Jonin. He was confident enough as long as the ninja tools in Jiraiya's hands reached the upper limit. This time, Jiraiya will definitely be killed. It's really what you think. Looking at the fireballs floating around, Jiraiya smiled. All the fireballs once again attacked Jiraiya from all directions at the same time. Don't want. Just then Tsunade arrived and happened to see this scene. She couldn't help but shout loudly, her tone full of worry and sadness. She thought there was no way Jiraiya could survive such a horrific attack. Her heart twitched violently and she ran towards Jiraiya desperately. Wanted to help Jiraiya block a fireball. But she was too slow. Before he could get close to Jiraiya, all the fireballs fell and engulfed Jiraiya. Jiraiya's figure disappeared from Tsunade's sight, leaving only the burning fireball. No! Tsunade yelled in anger. So strong, so amazing. But the next second, Tsunade suddenly stopped, his eyes showing shock. At the moment when the fireballs were about to hit Jiraiya, Jiraiya quickly drew his sword and spun it, breaking all the fireballs. This scene shocked Tsunade greatly. She really didn't expect that Jiraiya was so powerful. Able to easily neutralize Jonin's attacks. Tsunade, who was originally extremely nervous, suddenly relaxed. At that moment she felt like she was going to suffocate. Unconsciously, Jiraiya has become extremely important in her heart. It hasn't even reached its upper limit yet. It's really a powerful ninja tool. Seeing that his ninjutsu was once again broken by Jiraiya using the same trick, Ryuga felt a little frustrated. He had worked so hard to learn the ninjutsu for so long. Someone with a ninja tool can easily break it. What a despicable disciple from a powerful clan. Sooner or later, I will wipe out all the ninja clans. Longya has great resentment towards the big clans. Fire-style flame tiger. Jiraiya jumped onto the earth flow wall and swung the thunder fire blade towards Longya. Now the fire attribute chakra absorbed by the thunder fire blade has become extremely rich. Roar. A tiger roar echoed between heaven and earth, and the thunder and fire blade transformed into a majestic flaming tiger. This time, the flaming tiger transformed by the thunder fire blade was twice as large as before. When Longya saw the flaming tiger pouncing towards him and felt the pressure released by the flaming tiger, his pupils couldn't help but shrink. FK, damn. Longya couldn't help but curse out loud. Is this a jutsu that a chunin should perform? Fire-style flowing flame wall. Longya quickly formed seals and spewed out a large amount of fire attribute chakra from his mouth, which condensed into a wall of fire in front of him, protecting him firmly. He didn't originally want to take on this level of ninjutsu head-on. With his body flicker technique, there was no way to dodge it, so he had to take it head-on. Roar. With a tiger roar, the flaming tiger directly broke through the flowing flame wall and swallowed the dragon's fang. Ah! Then a scream was heard, and a black shadow emerged from the flames. Longya did not die from this blow. But his condition was no different from being near death. His whole body was burnt black and emitted an extremely unpleasant burnt smell. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 46 Poison in the Blood. Although Longya was not killed by fire-style flame tiger, he looked extremely miserable at this moment. The skin and flesh all over his body had been burnt black and he looked almost inhuman. What a powerful ninjutsu. Hitaki Sakumo and the Jonin of Rain Shinobi Village who were fighting were all attracted by the movement of Flame Tiger. A mere chunin can actually unleash such a terrifying ninjutsu. The ninjas of Konoha are truly terrifying. Jonin of Rain Shinobi Village frowned and decided to run away. The dragon's tooth is almost useless. Although he is still alive, he is almost disabled after being burned so badly. Jiraiya was unharmed again. After he dealt with Ryuga, he cooperated with Hitaki Sakumo to attack him together. He is doomed to die. Because Hitaki Sakumo's strength is far above his. Plus, there was no way he could fight against a powerful chunin like Jiraiya. At this time, he was in a very miserable state, with many knife wounds on his body. Although none of them were fatal, the slowly flowing blood was seriously reducing his physical strength. Hitaki Sakumo's attack was also extremely sharp, not giving him a chance to apply medicine on his wound. I won't lose to a chunin. When Hitaki Sakumo saw that Jiraiya was about to kill Ryuga, his eyes turned cold and he rushed towards the Jonin of Rain Shinobi Village. The chakra in the body was injected into the white blade frantically. Suddenly, a dazzling white light was released from the white blade without any warning. Rain Shinobi Village Jonin, who was completely unprepared, felt a sudden stinging pain in his eyes and subconsciously closed them. White Fang seized the opportunity and wiped the neck of the Jonin of Rain Shinobi Village. A string of blood splashed. Then a wound appeared on Rain Shinobi Village Jonin's neck. But there was no death. Because Rain Shinobi Village Jonin, although he couldn't see with his eyes just now, he barely avoided the fatal blow with his many years of combat experience. Then the two fought fiercely again. As for the elite chunin around, they were mainly paddling the whole time, occasionally performing ninjutsu to attack Hitaki Sakumo, and then they all retreated slowly to the rear in tacit understanding. Ah. Longya was screaming in pain. His body was severely burned and the suffering was unbearable. But his desire to survive was so strong that he gritted his teeth, used the body flicker technique, and fled into the distance. The ground under Longya's feet instantly turned into a muddy swamp, and half of his body sank into it. Longya struggled violently, but the yellow spring swamp had an adsorbent property, and it was completely wishful thinking for him to break free in his current state. Soon only his head was exposed. Jiraiya used the body flicker technique and rushed forward as a shadow. With a flash of a knife, a head shot up into the sky, and a layer of blood appeared on the yellow spring swamp. Tsunade, were you very worried that I would die just now? After dealing with Ryuga, Jiraiya jumped to Tsunade's side and said with a smile on his face. She saw clearly the expression Tsunade had made earlier. Jiraiya, stop being so cocky. I wasn't worried about you just now. Tsunade said, turning her head to the side. She didn't know when she would be. She already cared deeply about Jiraiya. I saw someone's eyes were filled with tears. Jiraiya said with a smile. In fact, he hadn't expected that Tsunade would value him so much now. Hold Jiraiya, if you keep talking nonsense, I'm going to beat you down right now. Tsunade said now in annoyance, feeling extremely embarrassed. It won't be too late to hit me after the battle is over. Jiraiya said while looking at the battlefield on Hitaki Sakumo's side. Now Hitaki Sakumo has gained the complete upper hand, and the opponent Jonin has been completely suppressed. It is only a matter of time before he loses his life. Seeing that Jiraiya had already dealt with Ryuga, Hitaki Tsukumo attacked faster and faster. Jiraiya takes out the opposing Jonin first. It made him feel a little embarrassed. The mission is finally not boring anymore. Looking at the place where the battle was taking place, Orochimaru licked the shuriken in his hand and said, "You dare to invade Konoha, you are courting death." Sarutobi Jiro and the others didn't ask for the specific reason, they just used ninjutsu and rushed towards those elite chunin. Since Hitaki Tsukumo has already engaged the opponent, there is no doubt that he is an invader, and they don't need to hold back at all. Jiraiya and Tsunade also rushed over. Seeing Konoha's reinforcements arrive, the elite chunin who had been watching immediately fled quickly to the rear. One of their Jonin has been killed. The other Jonin was being stabbed repeatedly and was close to death. If they don't run away now, they will be stabbed. Jiraiya quickly caught up with an elite chunin and used fire-style flame bomb, blasting it at him. He did not go to help Hitaki Tsukumo. Because Hitaki Tsukumo was able to deal with that Jonin. If he went to help, it would only annoy Hitaki Tsukumo. After all, geniuses are arrogant. If he went forward to help Hitaki Tsukumo, he would definitely misunderstand it as looking down on him. Jiraiya didn't want to do that. He wants to have a good relationship with Hitaki Tsukumo. Because Jiraiya values Hitaki Tsukumo's strength. Since he has traveled to the ninja world, Jiraiya naturally wants to unify the ninja world peacefully and stop wars. To accomplish this great goal, he must have help. Hitaki Tsukumo is a good helper. Even if he fights for the tailed beasts in the future, he will still need help. Elite Chunin, who was caught up by Jiraiya, was so scared that he d his pants. He fell to his knees on the ground and kowtowed to Jiraiya for mercy. This elite Chunin had no intention of resisting. "The only thing I can do is to give you a quick death." Jiraiya said softly that since you have chosen to be a ninja, you should be prepared to sacrifice at any time while performing a mission. After all, every time a ninja carries out a mission, it may be the last time he accepts the mission. As soon as he finished speaking, Jiraiya swung out the thunder and fire blade, and another great head flew into the sky. Jiraiya then looked at the others, and he found that among all the Chunin of Konoha, Orochimaru was the strongest. He has already controlled a giant python and entangled a Chunin. Then he took the shuriken, slit the opponent's throat and killed him. The blood of the weak is truly tasteless. Orochimaru licked the blood from the shuriken and said softly. But then Orochimaru's face changed, he fell to his knees and started digging his throat. What the hell, what a despicable villain, he actually poisoned the blood. Orochimaru cursed inwardly. Chapter 47, Resolving the Enemy. After Orochimaru licked the blood, he felt his tongue go numb and there was a burning pain. He immediately realized that he was poisoned. Orochimaru never expected that someone would poison his blood. "Hey, Orochimaru, are you confessing to your enemy?" Jiraiya asked, jumping to the side when he saw Orochimaru's strange behavior. "Do I look like I'm confessing my sins? This guy's blood is poisonous. If you have an antidote pill, give me one," Orochimaru said to Jiraiya anxiously. Jiraiya was stunned for a moment. Damn, this is a ruthless guy. He actually dared to poison his own blood. You should know that poisoning blood is extremely dangerous and can lead to your death if you are not careful. After all, blood is the most important component of the human body. Once there is any problem, it will directly affect life. This is also the sorrow of the ninjas in the small village. They don't have any powerful ninjutsu to learn, but as long as there is an opportunity to enhance their own strength, they will learn it without hesitation. This ninja was killed by Orochimaru. He had just come into contact with poison techniques and was only at the beginning, so he was easily killed by Orochimaru. If his poison skills were already well developed, Orochimaru would surely rot immediately if he came into contact with his blood. I guess Orochimaru will change his habit of licking things with his tongue from today onwards. Jiraiya took out a brown-yellow pill from his ninja tool bag, which exuded a fragrance. It was the detoxification pill purchased from the Akamiki family. Each pill cost 2,000 taels and was very valuable. It could almost neutralize all kinds of low-level poisons. Even if some powerful poisons cannot be antidote, the toxin can be suppressed, buying the poisoned person more time to heal. Civilian ninjas like them simply cannot afford it. This detoxification pill was still obtained for free from Tsunade. He has the 10,000 poison seal, so he doesn't need this kind of detoxification pill. Besides, he didn't want to ruin Orochimaru's flexible tongue. Orochimaru is the man who will master the Hokage technology in the future. Jiraiya wanted to win over such a capable assistant and would never let him betray Konoha again. Instead, he will help Orochimaru utilize Konoha's resources for scientific research. Thinking of this, Jiraiya handed the antidote pill in his hand to Orochimaru. Orochimaru took the antidote pill and swallowed it. "Thanks, Jiraiya. I'll pay you back later." After taking the detoxification pill, Orochimaru instantly felt much better and stood up and said to Jiraiya, "No need to be so polite to me. We are companions and should help each other in battle." Jiraiya patted Orochimaru's shoulder and said, "Can your companions really be trusted?" Orochimaru looked at Jiraiya and said in his mind. In fact, Orochimaru does not trust his companions, he only believes in his own strength. Because his parents died in the battle, and his parents' companions returned to Konoha. If the companion is reliable, why would this happen? Of course, this is just Orochimaru's extreme understanding. "Jiraiya, can I always choose to trust you?" Orochimaru asked, looking at Jiraiya, his snake eyes flickering with a faint light. "I don't know why you're asking me this, but I can promise you that you can always leave your back to me." Jiraiya replied. Orochimaru nodded and said nothing more. Jiraiya used the flash technique and rushed towards Tsunade. Tsunade is now fighting back and forth with his opponent. But Tsunade still has the upper hand because Tsunade's strength is too strong. Every time he punched, the ground cracked and trees broke. The pressure on the other party is enormous. What a terrifying fist. If I get hit by one, I'll definitely die instantly. The ninja who was fighting with Tsunade was now sweating profusely. Suddenly, a sound of breaking through the air was heard. The ninja felt a chill on his neck and then lost consciousness. Jiraiya sheathed his knife and walked out from behind him. "Jiraiya, I can take care of him even if you don't intervene," Tsunade said as she looked at the headless body. "I thought so too. The reason I intervened was because I was afraid that if your fist touched other men, I would be jealous," Jiraiya said with a smile after putting away the thunder fire blade. "I can hit anyone I want with my fists, and you have no right to stop me," Tsunade replied, but for some reason a sweet feeling rose in her heart. Ah! Suddenly, a heart-wrenching scream was heard, and the Jonin who was fighting with Hitaki Tsukumo was cut off from the right shoulder by the White Fang blade. A large amount of blood gushed out, and his life force was rapidly fading. Lightning-style thunder arrow. Hitaki Tsukumo formed seals with his hands, and a large amount of lightning attribute chakra gathered in front of him, transforming into an arrow wrapped in thunder, and shot towards the seriously injured Jonin. The severely wounded Jonin was no longer able to fight back. The thunder arrow pierced Jonin's head directly, ending his life forever. Then Hitaki Tsukumo attacked the other surviving elite Chunin. They had already been surrounded by Konoha's ninjas. Before long, all the ninjas who invaded the Land of Fire were killed. Shilang, search their bodies carefully and see if you can find anything that can prove their identity. Get rid of all the enemies, Hitaki Tsukumo ordered Sarutobi Jiro. You won the previous duel. I underestimated you. You are worthy of being the apprentice of the Hokage-sama. Hitaki Tsukumo walked up to Jiraiya and said. He now had some admiration for Jiraiya. Because you have to accept it. Jiraiya was able to take out a Jonin that quickly. He didn't have this kind of strength when he was in Chunin. I'm very curious, why do so many people in the village say that you are the last one in the class? Hitaki Tsukumo asked curiously. These are people who are jealous of my strength and talent and are deliberately trying to discredit me. You don't know, they even spread rumors to disgust me, saying that I go to the women's bathhouse to peep every day. Jiraiya took the opportunity to clear his name. It's really hateful. After I return to the village, if anyone dares to spread rumors again, I will never let him off easily. Hitaki Tsukumo said harshly. As the saying goes, heroes appreciate heroes. He is a genius. Jiraiya is also a genius. To discredit Jiraiya is almost the same as discrediting him. He would never condone such behavior. I see that you have also practiced swordsmanship. If you have time in the future, we can learn from each other. Hitaki Tsukumo said immediately. Hitaki Tsukumo's swordsmanship is definitely the best in Konoha. If you can learn swordsmanship from him, you can naturally learn a lot. Jiraiya would definitely not refuse, so he nodded and agreed. Captain, they don't have anything that can prove their identity. Soon Sarutobi Jiro searched all the bodies carefully and came back to report. Chapter 48 White Fang shows goodwill. The ninjas from these small ninja villages were recruited to plunder Konoha's resources, and they would definitely not leave anything that could prove their identity on them. After all, if their identities were exposed, it would bring disaster to his village. Since we can't find out, then chop off their heads and seal them with a space scroll. When we return to the village, give them to Anbu and see if they can find out. Hitaki Tsukumo immediately gave the order. Yes, Captain. Sarutobi Jiro immediately went to do as he was told. He chopped off the enemies' heads one by one and sealed them inside the scroll. The ninjutsu they used were all common ninjutsu, and they should not be ninjas from the major ninja villages. Sarutobi Jiro said after doing all the analysis. That's right. The ninjutsu they used were all ordinary ninjutsu. Although they have more chakra than us, they are no match for us when it comes to fighting. Another Konoha shinobi spoke up. A small ninja village definitely doesn't have the guts to provoke us. There is definitely a large ninja village taking the lead here. The Jonin I fought doesn't look like something a small ninja village could produce. Hitaki Tsukumo shook his head and said, then glanced at Jiraiya. It seems to be saying that the reason I am one step slower than you is because my opponent is stronger. Hitaki Tsukumo also wanted to save some face for himself. Jiraiya could naturally understand the meaning behind Hitaki Tsukumo's eyes. I feel speechless. You are a Jonin, how can you be so serious with me? These ninjas are so bold. If we can find out the forces behind them, they will definitely pay a heavy price. Sarutobi Jiro said bitterly. This time it was all thanks to Jiraiya for discovering the enemy in advance, otherwise we would have suffered some losses. Hitaki Tsukumo praised Jiraiya. Now all the herbs are ripe. We must be more vigilant and must not let anything go wrong with them. Hitaki Tsukumo said seriously. Hitaki then re-planned the patrol plan. This group of sneak attack ninjas can be regarded as a warning to Hitaki Tsukumo and others. Now Konoha Shinobi Village is known as the strongest ninja village. At least that's what all the Konoha Shinobi think. Therefore, the Konoha Shinobi stationed here had no sense of urgency at all, and were very perfunctory during their daily patrols. I think no ninja would dare to come here to plunder the herbs. But what happened today made them realize it. After all, there are still some daring ninjas. After the tasks were assigned, Jiraiya and the others followed Hitaki Tsukumo back to the camp. As for the border, 4 Konoha shinobi remained on duty, and the number of patrols doubled from before. Back at the camp, Hitaki Tsukumo called Jiraiya into his room alone. Jiraiya, the ninja sword in your hand is extremely extraordinary. If you use it in front of others in the future, you must not leave anyone alive. Otherwise, once the news of this ninja tool is leaked, it will cause you a lot of trouble. After entering the house, Hitaki Tsukumo said to Jiraiya. While he was fighting, he naturally noticed Jiraiya's ninja sword. He was somewhat envious of the function and sharpness of this ninja sword. It is more powerful than his family heirloom sword, White Fang. I understand that. Jiraiya nodded and said. An extremely precious ninja tool like the Thunderfire blade can attract many ninjas. If his role were fully exposed, there would definitely be many ninjas coming to snatch it. Especially the ninjas who are good at fire style and lightning style, they are simply unable to restrain their greed. If you wish, I can hide the function of your ninja tool when writing the battle report. Although the companions in the village are all trustworthy, no one can guarantee that there is no one with a dark heart. Hitaki Tsukumo said cautiously. This was also a gesture of goodwill towards Jiraiya. After all, Jiraiya has demonstrated amazing talent and immense strength. It is worth interacting with. Jiraiya could naturally understand Hitaki Tsukumo's good intentions. Otherwise, with Hitaki Tsukumo's level, there would be no need to ask for his opinion when writing the combat report for this battle. Jiraiya thought for a moment and said, "This ninja sword of mine was left to me by my parents. It has a bright origin. And I trust the village. Just write the report truthfully." He didn't want to hide the Thunderfire blade. Even if Hitaki Tsukumo helps him hide it now, it will be exposed in the future. Unless he seals the Thunder and Fire blade and doesn't use it. This is obviously impossible. So late exposure and early exposure are the same, there is almost no difference. The Thunder and Fire blade is an extremely powerful ninja tool. However, as long as it is not an elite Jonin or a Kage-level character who does it personally, Jiraiya believes that no one can take the Vice Admiral ninja tool away from him. He still has some confidence in this. Currently, there are a very limited number of elite Jonin and Kage-level characters in Konoha Village, and they are all well-known figures. It is impossible for them to attack the ninjas in the village just because of a ninja tool. At most, they will send their men to steal it. Jiraiya, what kind of existence is Konoha village in your mind? Hitaki Tsukumo asked. I like the current environment of Konoha very much. It is worth protecting with my life, but not all people in the village are included. Jiraiya replied. Your answer is quite interesting. Hitaki Tsukumo laughed and then looked into Jiraiya's eyes and asked, You asked me to report truthfully. Do you really believe in the village or in your own ability? Both. If anyone in the village tries to steal my ninja tools, he will be an enemy and no longer a companion. I will naturally kill him. Jiraiya answered quickly. If the other party begs, will you give him a chance to repent? Hitaki Tsukumo asked with a frown. When he chose to snatch my ninja tools, he was already my enemy. Being kind to the enemy is being cruel to myself. I will not do such a stupid thing. Thinking of Hitaki Tsukumo's future tragedy, Jiraiya replied that he hoped to bring about a slight change in Hitaki Tsukumo's heart so that he would not regard everyone in the village as his companions. After all, some people are not worthy of being called companions. To describe them as beasts is a compliment to them. Jiraiya, when you have time, come to my house more often. Hitaki Tsukumo said with a smile. He now felt that Jiraiya was very interesting. Although he had some different ideas from him, he was indeed a friend worth making friends with. He began to write the combat report. With so many enemies raiding this stronghold, he naturally reported it in detail to the village. Chapter 49 Return to the village. Jiraiya, I have a question for you. You can choose to answer it or not. How or with what magical power did you sense the enemy in advance? According to me, Tsunade didn't sense a single enemy when she was asked to report the incident. Hitaki Tsukumo asked curiously while writing. It relies on a secret family technique. Jiraiya replied. Things like sage body and eye of insight must not be told to anyone. Otherwise, he would definitely be captured by Danzo for research. Danzo can barely be considered a scientific researcher in the Hokage world. In the later period, Orochimaru turned evil, and Danzo helped a lot in Konoha's scientific research. Hitaki Tsukumo knew that Jiraiya was not telling the truth. From what he knew, Jiraiya's family only had a few ninjas, so it couldn't even be called a family. It is extremely rare to have a ninja sword that can absorb chakra. How is it possible that there is such a powerful secret technique of perception? You have to know that the secret technique of perception is even rarer than offensive ninjutsu. But everyone has secrets, so I didn't ask any further. I have finished writing the combat report. Can you take a look and see if there is anything I want to revise? Hitaki Tsukumo handed the written combat report to Jiraiya. Jiraiya took it, looked at it, and said, I have no opinion. This battle report was written by Hitaki Tsukumo. His achievements were written in great detail. He was the first to discover the enemy, stayed behind to cover their retreat, and killed an enemy Jonin alone. Everything was written clearly. Hitaki Tsukumo was not greedy for credit at all. If you meet a captain who is greedy for credit, it is impossible for the combat report to be written in such detail. Jiraiya chatted with Hitaki Tsukumo for a while and then left his room. Jiraiya, what did that annoying guy call you into the house alone for? As Jiraiya walked out of the house, Tsunade pulled him aside and asked curiously. Just asking about the enemy. Jiraiya replied. Jiraiya, I didn't expect you to become so strong that you could even kill Jonin. After we return to the village, you have to come and teach me how to practice. You can suddenly become so strong, so you must have some practice skills. Tsunade said to Jiraiya. What's the reward? Jiraiya asked with a smile. Tsunade is a core member of the Senju clan. Although the Senju clan has declined, some elders in the clan are definitely still able to teach Tsunade how to practice. Tsunade still lets him give lessons at home, which must be due to other motives. Just want to find a chance to be with him. It's not that Jiraiya is narcissistic and thinks this way. That's because when he was fighting Ryuga, Tsunade's emotions were clearly revealed. If that look is not called love, there would definitely be no more love in this world. So what reward do you want? Tsunade asked back. I want you, I don't know if you will give it to me. Jiraiya said with a smirk. Hearing this, Tsunade felt his heartbeat quicken instantly. He felt very happy, and his face started to get slightly hot. But she showed an angry expression, waved her fist and said, hold Jiraiya, you are looking for death, I will kill you. If you are willing to kill me, then go ahead. Jiraiya did not run away, but closed his eyes and stretched out his hands in a very rogue manner. Tsunade raised her fist, but in the end she didn't drop it, and slowly retracted it. She really couldn't bear to beat Jiraiya anymore. Orochimaru, who saw this scene, couldn't help but widen his eyes, somewhat unable to believe it. When did Tsunade hesitate when he was about to hit someone with his fist? This is simply unscientific. Tsunade, you have actually changed. Orochimaru said. What do you mean? Tsunade turned around and asked. Not as grumpy as before, Orochimaru said. So you mean I used to be very irritable and had a bad temper? Tsunade asked with a smile. That's right. The straightforward Orochimaru simply nodded. Bang! The next moment, Tsunade rushed to Orochimaru and punched him, knocking him to the ground. Why did you hit me again? Orochimaru asked aggrievedly as he got up from the ground. He told the truth, so why was he beaten again? Women are really scary. We have finally finished harvesting the herbs. We can return to the village today. A few days passed, and Tsunade said happily when he saw that all the herbs had been loaded into the car. Since the last attack, Hitaki Tsukumo has also ordered the villagers who harvest herbs to speed up the harvest. After several days of hard work, all the herbs were finally harvested today and loaded onto the vehicle. On the way back to the village, everyone must not take it lightly, this is the most dangerous time. Before setting off, Hitaki Tsukumo said very seriously. After all, transporting a large amount of herbs back to the village would most likely be intercepted and attacked by the enemy. Then Hitaki Tsukumo began to arrange the positions of each ninja to escort the herbs. Jiraiya, you and I will walk at the end of the group. Hitaki Tsukumo said to Jiraiya. Right now, he and Jiraiya are the strongest. Especially Jiraiya's perception ability is very strong. The two of them are suitable to walk at the end of the team. Hitaki Tsukumo's arrangement was very reasonable, and Jiraiya would definitely not object, so he nodded and agreed. He and Hitaki Tsukumo walked to the back of the team. They were escorting a large amount of herbs back to the village, and the journey was extremely slow. It took them more than 2 days to return to Konoha village. During the process of returning to the village, no enemies appeared. After entering the village, all the escorting ninjas breathed a sigh of relief. After all, when escorting the herbs, everyone's nerves were tense, fearing that they would be attacked and the herbs would be lost. After I get home, I'm going to take a good bath in the hot springs. Tsunade said as she stretched. Your Senju clan's medicinal baths are very famous. I wonder when I can experience them. Jiraiya asked Tsunade. The Senju have a special medicinal bath that can enhance the strength of the body. If you soak in this medicinal bath regularly, your body can even become as hard as steel. However, this is a unique secret recipe of the Senju clan. It is extremely difficult for the ninjas of the Senju clan to take this kind of medicinal bath. Because the Senju clan never sells medicinal baths to outsiders. Unless you have done a great favor to the Senju clan, or have made great contributions to the Senju clan, you may still have the opportunity to take a medicinal bath. If you want to soak in the unique medicinal bath of our Senju clan, unless you make a great contribution to our Senju clan, or marry a member of our Senju clan, otherwise, if you want to soak in the medicinal bath, you can only do it in your dreams. Tsunade replied. Chapter 50, Hiruzen is delighted. In my opinion, these two requests can only be regarded as one request. Jiraiya said as he looked at Tsunade and smiled. What do you mean? Tsunade said with some confusion. If I marry you, that would be equivalent to directly satisfying these two requirements, Jiraiya replied. Tsunade, if Jiraiya really dares to marry you, it will indeed be considered a great contribution to the Senju clan. After all, you have such a bad temper, it will be difficult for you to get married. Your family will definitely have a headache for you then. If Jiraiya marries you, it will directly solve a big problem for your family. This is definitely penultimate's contribution. Orochimaru heard Jiraiya and Tsunade's conversation and interrupted. Orochimaru, you are looking for death. Tsunade instantly became furious and punched Orochimaru. Damn it, I'm going to get beaten again if I tell the truth. Orochimaru was once again knocked flying by Tsunade's hammer, feeling very sad and angry. He still can't figure it out. Seeing Orochimaru falling to the ground, Jiraiya couldn't help but shake his head. The integrity in Orochimaru's heart should be disappearing soon. No wonder Orochimaru would rather create artificial humans and be their own father and mother than find a female ninja to live with. This must have left a psychological trauma. Everyone, I will go meet the Hokage now. After I report the mission, please go to eat barbecue. After delivering the herbs to the place, Hitaki Tsukumo spoke and headed to the Hokage building. Hokage-sama, all the herbs from the border have been transported back to the village. There is no loss. Hitaki Tsukumo walked into the Hokage office building, knelt on one leg and said respectfully, "Thank you for your hard work, Tsukumo." Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a smile. "It is my duty and my honor to contribute to the village. It is not hard work at all. Hokage-sama, when we were guarding the medicine garden, we were attacked by a group of ninjas of unknown origin. We have completely wiped them out. Here are the details of the battle. As for their heads, they are all in these sealed scrolls." Hitaki Tsukumo stood up, still respectful, and placed the combat report and sealing scroll he had written on the Hokage's desk. Hitaki Tsukumo also admires Sarutobi Hiruzen immensely. In his heart, Sarutobi Hiruzen is the pillar of Konoha and the protector of Konoha. It is because of his existence that Konoha is so prosperous now. "You were attacked." Sarutobi Hiruzen was very surprised. He put down his pipe, his expression became serious, and he picked up the combat report and began to read it in detail. In a very short time, single-handedly killed a Jonin. When seeing the description of Jiraiya, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but be a little surprised. You have to know that even in the big ninja village, Jonin are considered the absolute elite. Now Jiraiya is just a Chunin, and he actually took out a Jonin. This is an extremely outstanding record. This kind of situation hasn't happened in Konoha for a long time. The Hitaki Tsukumo standing in front of him was already considered a genius of Konoha, but when he was in Chunin, his most outstanding achievement was just barely defeating a Jonin. As for wanting to kill it, it is simply impossible. The difference between defeating and killing is not small. This matter must be publicized. Sarutobi Hiruzen decided in his mind. This is also a good thing for him. Jiraiya was his apprentice after all. Such achievements spread. The first thing others would think of is that he is a good teacher. In this way, his prestige will be greatly enhanced. You can also gain a wave of reputation invisibly. It makes me happy just thinking about it. As for the chakra sword that can absorb ninjutsu, although Sarutobi Hiruzen was extremely curious, he did not put much thought into it. Because his summoning beast ape demon has an indestructible body and can also transform into the Rui Jingu Bang and use it as a ninja tool with extremely strong power, so he is not short of ninja tools. After reading the battle report, Sarutobi Hiruzen spoke softly, "Take these sealing scrolls down and investigate them thoroughly. Try to find out their identities." "As you command, Hokage-sama." An Anbu member walked out from the darkness and spoke respectfully to Sarutobi Hiruzen, taking the sealing scroll from the table. "Tsukumo, you guys did a great job. The rewards for this mission will be doubled. We wiped out all the enemies. As the captain, you have made an invaluable contribution. You can choose one of these A-level ninjutsu to practice." Sarutobi Hiruzen took out several scrolls and said to Hitaki Tsukumo, "Thank you, Hokage-sama." Hitaki Tsukumo said excitedly that he was only from a small family and A-level ninjutsu was extremely scarce within the family. He was very excited that he could obtain an advanced ninjutsu in this mission. He walked forward respectfully and began to select carefully. Sarutobi Hiruzen thinks highly of Hitaki Tsukumo. "I plan to let him be the captain of Anbu once his strength improves a bit." After careful consideration, Hitaki Tsukumo chose a scroll. "After you go back, ask Jiraiya to come to my place." After Hitaki Tsukumo finished selecting the ninjutsu, Sarutobi Hiruzen said to him, "As you command, Hokage-sama." Hitaki Tsukumo said respectfully, then exited the Hokage's office. "Leave it to Danzo to find out the identities of those ninjas. Make sure he finds the organizer behind the scenes." Sarutobi Hiruzen said to Anbu with a frown on his face. The situation in the Rain country is now extremely complicated, with various forces involved. Now someone is attacking Konoha's medicine garden. This matter can be said to be very serious. If it was organized by the Kingdom of Wind and the Kingdom of Earth, then Konoha must enter a state of war readiness in advance. "As you command," the Anbu member replied. "We completed this mission very well. The Hokage gave us double the reward." Hitaki Tsukumo said happily after returning to the team. "Long live the Hokage-sama." Immediately, the Konoha shinobi who were carrying out the mission cheered. "Jiraiya, the Hokage wants to summon you, go there quickly and don't keep the Hokage waiting." Let's go to the Akamaiki family's yakiniku restaurant and wait for you. Hitachi Tsukumo then said to Jiraiya. Jiraiya nodded. He wasn't surprised by Sarutobi Hiruzen's summons. He demonstrated amazing talent through this mission. Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely focus on training him. If he wants to improve his strength quickly, the system alone is not enough, and Konoha's resources must also be utilized. Jiraiya rushed to the Hokage building, and when he entered the Hokage's office, he saw Sarutobi Hiruzen sitting on a chair with a smile on his face, looking in a very good mood. Yes, teacher. Jiraiya said with a smile on his face, and did not kneel down to salute like Hitachi Tsukumo did. Because they are teacher and student, there is no need for that kind of etiquette. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 51 Village Rewards. Jiraiya, I have read the operational summary written by Tsukumo. Your performance was outstanding. I am very pleased with your performance. With a genius like you appearing, Konoha will surely become more prosperous in the future and will make Konoha village even more dazzling. Sarutobi Hiruzen had another very standard opening. It's all thanks to the teacher's good teaching. If it weren't for the teacher's teaching, I would have died at the hands of that Jonin. Jiraiya replied, with the ultimate flattery. He wanted to gain advantage from Sarutobi Hiruzen. You definitely have to flatter him. He was actually a little speechless inside. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked even more excited than him now. Isn't it just killing a Jonin? If he killed an elite Jonin, wouldn't Sarutobi Hiruzen faint from excitement? He really looks like he has never seen the world. Sarutobi Hiruzen's smile widened when he saw Jiraiya being so polite. I only regret that I didn't have a daughter. There was no way to make Jiraiya his son-in-law. Otherwise, he would have definitely tied Jiraiya to his daughter's bed. Jiraiya also doesn't like men. If Jiraiya likes men, he could also push his own son out. You have made a great contribution to the annihilation of all enemy ninjas and the safe transport of all the herbs back to Konoha. These 2A level Earth-style ninjutsu will be your reward this time. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled and took out 2 ninjutsu scrolls and placed them on the table. The flattery really paid off. Jiraiya's eyes lit up when he saw Sarutobi Hiruzen take out 2A rank ninjutsu. He walked forward, picked up the 2 ninjutsu scrolls, opened them and took a quick look at them. It turns out to be these 2 ninjutsu. Jiraiya muttered in his mind. There are 2A rank Earth-style ninjutsu, namely Earth-style clay falling from the sky and Earth-style cover falling from the sky. These 2 ninjutsu are definitely the top-notch among Konoha's Earth-style ninjutsu. These 2 Earth-style ninjutsu were used by the Anbu members of Konoha when Pain attacked Konoha in the original work, and both were quite powerful. These 2 Earth-style ninjutsu have similar effects, both of which involve pulling things from another dimension to attack the enemy. Among them, Earth-style's falling mud is red mud with extremely high viscosity summoned from an alien space. Once the enemy is hit, the movement will be immediately blocked. And enemies wrapped in red clay will be immediately burned into sculptures if attacked by fire-style. When combined with fire-style ninjutsu, it can also be used as a sealing technique. It is a very versatile ninjutsu. As for the Earth-style Skyfall cover, it summons a layer of soil from another dimension and blasts it directly at the enemy from the air with enormous power. It is a very simple offensive ninjutsu. I don't know when I can see Konoha's sealed book. Jiraiya thought to himself as he put away the 2 ninjutsu scrolls. All of Konoha's truly powerful ninjutsu are in the Book of Sealed. Because those ninjutsu are extremely powerful and would cause great harm to oneself when used, or would require paying a very heavy price, they were all sealed up. But he has the sage body, and his cells have strong self-healing abilities, so he can withstand all the damage caused by the forbidden technique. Just wanting to watch the ninjutsu of the sealed book is extremely difficult. Because every ninjutsu in the sealed book must be approved by the Konoha high-level officials before it can be circulated. Jiraiya, where did you get that ninja tool? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked curiously. In his impression, Jiraiya's parents had never used this kind of ninja tool. I found this in a secret room in my home after my parents died fighting for the village. As for who forged this ninja tool and why it is in my home, I have no idea. If the teacher wants it, the teacher can take it anytime. Because ninja tools like this can only exert their greatest power in the hands of the teacher, allowing the teacher to have greater strength to protect the village. Jiraiya spoke up. This was the wording he had thought of before he came. He holds Sarutobi Hiruzen in such high regard. Even if Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted the Thunderfire blade, he would be too embarrassed to ask for it. Moreover, Sarutobi Hiruzen has Monkey King, so he has no shortage of powerful blades. He shouldn't be thinking of using the Thunder and Fire blade. The only thing to be wary of is other wood industry executives. Especially Danzo the Nabekage. He now said it so openly, actually he wanted Sarutobi Hiruzen to convey these words to Danzo and the others. Sarutobi Hiruzen was touched by Jiraiya's words. How lucky he was to have such a good disciple. I'm afraid it will be difficult to find such a good apprentice even if I search with a lantern in the future. Jiraiya, I am very pleased that you are so aware of the village. From now on, I think you will have to inherit my will. Sarutobi Hiruzen completely regarded Jiraiya as his successor. He now felt that Jiraiya was deeply influenced by his will of fire. From now on, as long as he gives a little guidance, Jiraiya will regard him as his own will. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen took a puff of his pipe and showed an expression of enjoyment. Can you get high from smoking? Jiraiya couldn't help but mutter at the look on Hiruzen's face. Jiraiya, if you have any questions about ninjutsu in the future, you can always ask me. Sarutobi Hiruzen spoke up. Jiraiya nodded and said, "Thank you, sensei." Jiraiya then left the office. As soon as I walked out of the office, I saw Danzo walking up the stairs with a gloomy look on his face. Elder Danzo. Jiraiya greeted. Danzo nodded to it and then walked into the Hokage's office, as if he had something important to do. Hokage-sama, now almost all the Anbu members have been sent to the Rain country to gather intelligence. The remaining Anbu members must patrol around the village at all times to ensure the safety of the village. Now Anbu has almost no manpower to mobilize, so it is difficult to investigate the identities of those ninjas. So I plan to set up another organization and train some elite ninjas. After all, there are many things in the village that sometimes even Anbu is not suitable to execute, because the hearts of Anbu members are not dark enough. We need to cultivate a group of elites with darker hearts. Danzo walked into the office and spoke directly to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Have you thought of a name for this organization? Asked Sarutobi Hiruzen. Danzo had already made this request to him, but he refused. But after careful consideration, he decided to let Danzo set up the organization. Because Anbu is the direct subordinate unit of Hokage. Almost everything the Anbu does is a manifestation of the Hokage's will. As Danzo said, there are many things that Anbu is not suitable to do, and some secret things will affect his reputation if they are leaked. If Danzo sets up another organization, it will have nothing to do with him. Danzo can take the blame for anything better. Chapter 52 Root Establishment. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen agreed to let him establish an organization. Danzo showed joy on his face, and the gloom on his face was instantly swept away. He has never given up on the position of Hokage. If he wants to become Hokage, he must first have many supporters and his own power. Only in this way can he compete with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Otherwise, the next Hokage will have to be appointed by Sarutobi Hiruzen, and he will not have any chance at all. Don't think that he is the leader in Anbu now. In fact, he has very little power in Anbu. After all, Anbu is a direct department under the Hokage. They carry out their missions in the best interests of the Hokage. If he could establish other organizations, he could use his will to run through them. Take his interests as the highest standard for performing tasks. Strictly speaking, Danzo wants to establish a private army that belongs only to him. Just obey orders and be loyal to yourself. If someone wants to give orders, they have to get his consent first. I plan to name it Root. If Konoha wants to grow stronger, it can't just rely on leaves exposed to the sun. It also needs roots deep in the dark to absorb nutrients. Danzo replied. Root, that's a good name. Sarutobi Hiruzen said after thinking for a moment. Danzo's philosophy of establishing the Root organization is very much in line with Sarutobi Hiruzen's wishes. From now on, he can be at ease as a leaf exposed to the light and bathed in the sun. All the shameful things can be left to the roots deeply rooted in the darkness. Hokage, I hope to allow Hatake Tsukumo and Jiraiya to join the Root. The Root has just been established and needs some geniuses to take the lead. Danzo immediately began to ask Sarutobi Hiruzen for someone. Hatake Tsukumo and Jiraiya are both geniuses. If such talents were to stay with Hiruzen, it would seriously damage his interests. Hatake Tsukumo and Jiraiya are now both deeply influenced by Sarutobi Hiruzen's will. When they grow up, they are destined to become Sarutobi Hiruzen's left and right arms. By then, it will definitely become an obstacle to his campaign for Hokage. Therefore, He had to find a way to make Hotake Tsukumo and Jiraiya accept his will and become his right-hand men. As long as there is a powerful genius who recognizes his will, it will become much easier for him to compete for the position of Hokage when he grows up. Danzo, I was able to allow you to establish the route. I have already given you a lot of power and made concessions. There is no way I can allow Hotake Tsukumo and Jiraiya to join the route. I have already decided to let Hotake Tsukumo be the new Anbu leader. I have also made arrangements for Jiraiya. Don't try to get involved with them again, or you know the consequences. Sarutobi Hiruzen said to Danzo solemnly. He knew Danzo's thoughts best. It is impossible for him to gather too many geniuses around Danzo. I know all about your actions behind your back. Although I didn't agree to your establishment of other organizations before, you have already completed the structure secretly and trained many elite ninjas. I just turned a blind eye. Danzo, you'd better not cross the line. Danzo remained silent for a while, then he asked, can I select elite disciples from those big families and have them join the route? As long as you can convince their clan leader, I naturally have no objection. Sarutobi Hiruzen replied without any hesitation. How's that experiment going? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked next. There has been no substantial progress. This batch of test subjects is almost dead. We need to find new test subjects immediately. Danzo replied. Not everyone can bear Shodai's cells. Stop the experiment and seal Shodai's cells. Sarutobi Hiruzen said as he blew out a puff of smoke. Hokage, this experiment cannot be stopped. As long as we succeed, we can regain the power of wood style. You know that wood style is the most powerful against tailed beasts. As long as we in Konoha can train new wood style users, we can return the village to its glory when it was first built. I know the cost of research is a bit high now, but these sacrifices are necessary. As long as we can succeed, no matter how big the sacrifice is, it is worth it. This experiment cannot be stopped at any cost. Wood style is too important to the village. We must train new wood style ninjas. If our village had always had wood style ninjas, our sensei wouldn't have died at the hands of those two brothers with 9 tails chakra. Now all the major ninja villages have tailed beasts. I don't need to say how terrifying the tailed beasts are. If we can have wood style ninjas, those tailed beasts will no longer be a threat to us. Danzo said with great excitement. Wood style has the power to restrain the tailed beasts. After the battle between Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo, they knew deeply the terrifying power of the tailed beasts. If a war breaks out again in the future, the tailed beasts will pose a great threat to the village. So they began to study Hashirama's cells in secret, hoping to cultivate a new wood style user. But after so much research and paying a lot of price, there is still no progress. I know how important wood style is, but the village has wasted too many resources to conduct the experiment. Now that the Rain country is about to start a war, we no longer have enough funds to continue this experiment. The group of ninjas that attacked Hotake Tsukumo must have been led by a large ninja village. I have a feeling that a war will break out soon. We must prepare for it with all our strength. You don't have to say anything more. I will ask Anbu to collect all the experimental materials and equipment when I get back. If you dare to stop me or do research behind my back, I will never let you off easily. Sarutobi Hiruzen also longs to master the power of wood style, but the current situation of the village does not allow them to continue their experiments. We have made some progress in our research. If we stop the experiment now, all our efforts will be wasted. Lord Hokage, please think about this carefully. Can we slow down the experiment first? Danzo pleaded. Danzo, are you going to disobey the orders of the Hokage? Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes suddenly turned cold. Sarutobi, you're going to regret this. Danzo left the Hokage's office angrily. I'm full, thank you for the treat, Captain Tsukumo. In the Akamaiki family's barbecue restaurant, Jiraiya burped and said. Me too. Orochimaru rubbed his stomach. Hotake Tsukumo looked at the messy mountains of dishes in front of Jiraiya and Orochimaru. I came back to my senses and looked at my wallet, and it seemed that there was not enough money to pay the bill. He never expected that Jiraiya and Orochimaru had such an amazing appetite. It's so G terrifying. Chapter 53 Class Lightning Style Ninjutsu. Thank you for your patronage, you can enjoy a 50% discount. A female ninja from the Akamaiki family said with a smile, handing the bill to Hotake Tsukumo. Hotake Tsukumo is a genius ninja of Konoha. The Akamaiki family naturally wanted to make friends with them. Plus Jiraiya, they are the apprentices of the third Hokage. That's why you can enjoy a 50% discount. Hitaki Tsukumo took a look at the bill and immediately found it hard to accept. He just felt a pang of pain in his heart. Even after a 50% discount, it was still more than his wallet could afford. Now Hitaki Tsukumo really wants to run away. But for the sake of his own face and image, he certainly couldn't escape the bill, so he said to Jiraiya and the others, "Since you are all full, you can go back first. I am not full yet, and I plan to eat some more." "I didn't expect Captain Tsukumo to eat more than us," Jiraiya said with a smile. "I really envy Captain Tsukumo's appetite. The more he eats, the more energy he will have, and the longer he will be able to practice." Orochimaru nodded and said, looking at the plates in front of them, Hitaki Tsukumo really wanted to draw his knife and chop them. After eating so much of his food, he still couldn't speak human language when he left. "Captain, I'll go back first. I've been away from the village for so long on a mission. I have to go back to be with my wife. No wonder you ate so many oysters. Turns out you had something else to do tonight. You must be very weak after eating so many oysters. How dare you say that to me? You've eaten a lot of kidneys. I suggest that those of you who have wives cough loudly when you enter the house so that your wives can be prepared. This will help you and your spouse get along well. This suggestion is very good. I think you need to do this, so as to avoid opening the door and seeing things you shouldn't see. You guys can go away now, you are jealous that we have wives." A group of ninjas stood up, teasing each other and walked towards the door. "Don't forget what you promised me. Come early tomorrow." When parting with Jiraiya, Tsunade reminded Jiraiya. What Tsunade was talking about was, of course, home teaching. "I won't forget what I promised you." Jiraiya nodded and replied. Now Tsunade has a great crush on him. Maybe while teaching a class, I can just roll into the bed. "I want to introduce you to Brother Orange Water tomorrow. Please be more formal when you visit me tomorrow," Tsunade said. Senju Orange Water is not much older than them, but already has the strength of an elite Jonin and is now the head of the Senju clan. That is, his future brother-in-law. "I see." Jiraiya nodded. "The moonlight is bright today, let's go to the lotus pond in the village." Tsunade looked up at the moon and directly took Jiraiya's hand. "Since I already like Jiraiya, then naturally you have to be more proactive. The lotus flowers are really beautiful under the moonlight." Walking to the side of the pond, Tsunade said while leaning on the guardrail. "The lotus is wrapped in a layer of moonlight, just like a layer of silver glow. A room full of lotus flowers is not as beautiful as your smile," Jiraiya said as he placed a hand on Tsunade's. Tsunade didn't pull his hand away, but let Jiraiya leave it like that. My heartbeat started to quicken again. "You really think I'm pretty?" Tsunade asked in a low voice. "I don't think you're pretty, I think you're super pretty." He was a time traveler, so it was natural for him to speak cheesy love words with ease. After all the cheesy love talk, Tsunade blushed so much that her heartbeat could be easily heard. "I didn't expect you to have such a lovely side." Under the moonlight, Jiraiya couldn't help but smile at Tsunade's blushing face. "Remember to come early tomorrow." Tsunade seemed unable to bear this atmosphere. She said something to Jiraiya and then ran towards home. Because she felt that if she stayed any longer, her legs would weaken and she would fall into Jiraiya's arms. She was just a young girl, how could she withstand Jiraiya's teasing? Seeing Tsunade running away, Jiraiya was in a good mood. The small goal I set when I first came here will soon be achieved. He is about to say goodbye to the era of using the 5 girls. Can I buy on credit? Hitaki Tsukumo asked very embarrassedly. "Sir, if you don't have enough money, you can go to the back and wash dishes. We don't accept credit." Hearing that Hitaki Tsukumo had no money to pay the bill, the female ninja from the Akamaiki family was not angry, and still spoke with a smile. "How many dishes do I need to wash?" Hitaki Tsukumo said with a twitch of his mouth. "If we don't stop for a moment, we should be able to finish it by tomorrow morning." The female ninja from the Akamaiki family replied. "Then take me there." Hitaki Tsukumo took off his coat and put it on his head very elegantly. After walking into the kitchen, Hitaki Tsukumo was completely dumbfounded, because there were plates piled everywhere, almost filling up the entire room. "Your knife skills are well known in Konoha. I believe you should be very fast at washing dishes as well." The female ninja from the Akamaiki family put a brush in Tsukumo's hand and encouraged him, "Come on, we need these plates urgently. For some reason, business is booming today." Sign in. The next morning, Jiraiya opened his eyes and spoke to the system. He was extremely looking forward to today's sign-in reward, because today was the 7th day of sign-in, and the reward would definitely be extremely generous. Ding dong, the 7-day sign-in is successful, and the lightning-style ultimate move Wanlei Heavenly Prison is obtained. The system's voice then sounded in Jiraiya's mind. Jiraiya suddenly stood up from the bed. The ultimate skill also represents S-level ninjutsu, which is the pinnacle of power of each attribute of ninjutsu. Wanlei Heavenly Prison introduces its functions in detail. Jiraiya said while holding back his excitement. This was also the first time he obtained an S-rank ninjutsu. You have to know that the S-level ninjutsu in the Hokage world is extremely limited. It is very difficult to learn ninjutsu of this level from others, unless you have excellent understanding and create it yourself. In the original work, both Kakashi's Reikiri and Sasuke's Kirin, these two lightning-style S-level ninjutsu, were all created by them. Once the 10,000 Thunders Heavenly Prison is used, it can directly exchange a large amount of thunder from another dimension to attack the enemy, or it can condense the thunder into a cage to trap the enemy. If it is used in thunderstorm weather, it can also directly draw the thunder of nature to attack the enemy. The system explained in detail. Chapter 54, The Real Fan. It can directly trigger the power of nature. It is worthy of being called the ultimate ninjutsu. Jiraiya was extremely satisfied with the reward. This ninjutsu is very powerful. The lightning-style Kirin created with the help of Commander in the original work, if it wants to use the power of nature's thunder, it must rely on Sharingan to see the speed and direction of the thunder before it can be successfully launched. It can be said that there are great restrictions. Once the speed and direction of the thunder are not predicted accurately, the ninjutsu will fail. The Wanlei Heavenly Prison induction that he had obtained by signing in now did not have this drawback at all. As long as it is in thunderstorm weather, it can directly attract the thunder of nature, and its controllability and stability are far stronger than the lightning-style Kilin. Master, the 10,000 Thunder Heavenly Prison induction ninjutsu has a strong variability. As long as you work hard on research and development, you can develop many new lightning-style ninjutsu. The system voice sounded immediately afterwards. Whether you create your own ultimate ninjutsu or learn the ultimate ninjutsu, you can create many new ninjutsu based on the ultimate ninjutsu. Just like Kakashi, after he created Reikiri. Based on Reikiri, we developed lightning-style thunder transmission, lightning-style Reikiri double thunder shock, and lightning-style Reikiri double light piercing. Keep signing in. After extracting the Heavenly Prison Guide, Jiraiya continued. After all, the rewards for daily sign-in do not conflict with the rewards for 7-day sign-in. Ding dong, if you sign in daily successfully, you will be rewarded with 2 years of chakra practice. The system voice sounded immediately afterwards. A ninja's chakra content can be accumulated through practice. The stronger the bloodline talent, the more chakra can be accumulated through practice. Extract. Jiraiya spoke, and a fluorescent light was seen lighting up around him, which was injected into his body, and the chakra contained in his body began to rise rapidly. He originally possessed a sage body, and the amount of chakra contained in his cells was extremely terrifying, but he had not yet practiced to extract it. Now through the stimulation of the system, a large amount of chakra is being extracted continuously. After these chakras are extracted, they will be stored in his body and can be used directly in the future when performing ninjutsu without having to extract them from the cells. The amount of chakra contained in my body right now is definitely not comparable to that of some ordinary Jonin, not to mention the large amount of chakra contained in my cells. Once I have mastered the sage body, the chakra contained in it will definitely not be weaker than the tailed beasts. Feeling the chakra in his body becoming more and more abundant, Jiraiya is more excited about the future. It's time to find a way to practice fairy arts. After all, only natural energy is the power of this ninja world, and chakra is not a native power of this ninja world. Combining these two powers will give you a more powerful senjutsu chakra. Chakra comes from the chakra fruit of the sacred tree. It appeared in this world only after being eaten by Kagaya. There was no chakra before that. In the original work, Jiraiya accidentally reversed the summoning technique and went to Mount Myoboku while practicing the summoning technique, and then rose to prominence and learned the fairy technique. It's no coincidence that Jiraiya was able to reverse summoning and head to Mount Myoboku, but rather was probably summoned by the Great Toad Sage. Because the Great Toad Sage can foresee the future, he knows that Jiraiya will meet the Child of Prophecy and is a key figure in guiding the Child of Prophecy. That's why he led Jiraiya to Mount Myoboku to help him increase his strength. Now that he has traveled through time, he doesn't know if he will still be led to Mount Myoboku by the Great Toad Sage. He has now searched the house thoroughly, but has not found the summoning scroll regarding Mount Myoboku. In other words, if the Great Toad Sage would choose him again, a summoning scroll might suddenly appear somewhere in his house in a few days. If his time travel has changed the future and he will no longer be guided by the Great Toad Sage, then he can only think of other ways to practice magic. He had to find a way to learn the magic no matter what. Because magic can make him even more powerful. Whether it is Black Zetsu who is hiding in the dark and trying to rescue his mother, or Uchiha Madara who is hiding in the dark and trying to bring complete peace to the ninja world, both are extremely dangerous. Especially the Otsutsuki clan. We still have to complete the small goals first. It's time to head to the Senju clan. Jiraiya shook his head. No matter how much he wanted to become stronger, he still had to take it one step at a time. As long as he can capture Tsunade, the power and resources he can obtain in Konoha will be greatly increased. Since he has traveled to the ninja world, he must become the god of ninja to dominate this world. This great goal must be achieved step by step. First of all, we have to control Konoha. To achieve this, he must build up his own power. Tsunade and the Senju clan are both worthy targets for wooing. I believe Senju Orange Water will like this gift. After washing up, Jiraiya changed into a new set of clothes, looked at the 2 limited edition pornographic comics in his hands, and chuckled. Visited Senju Orange Water today. Definitely have to prepare a gift. After all, he is the patriarch of the Senju clan and his future brother-in-law, so he has to show some respect to him. He didn't know what Senju Orange Water liked, but he believed that as long as Senju Orange Water was a normal man, he would definitely like this gift. Jiraiya packaged the 2 comics beautifully and then headed to the Senju clan. Captain Sakumo, I didn't expect you to have such a good appetite. You've even eaten until now. When passing by the Akamaiki family barbecue restaurant, Jiraiya happened to see Hitaki Sakumo walking out of the barbecue restaurant. Now Jiraiya was a little shocked. This appetite is really too horrible. Moreover, Hitaki Sakumo looked extremely tired, as if he would die suddenly at any time. This is the real foodie. Eat while risking sudden death. Jiraiya felt inferior. I have been stationed at the border for so long and haven't had delicious food for a long time, so I ate more. Seeing Jiraiya, Hitaki Sakumo spoke in a nonchalant manner, trying his best to hide his fatigue. Business at the Akamaiki family BBQ was surprisingly good yesterday. Only now has Hitaki Sakumo finished washing all the dishes. It can be said to be quite miserable. Captain, no matter how delicious the food is, you can't stay up late to eat. You still have to take care of your health. Jiraiya kindly reminded. Thank you for your concern. I'll go back first. Hitaki Sakumo was not in the mood to talk to Jiraiya right now. He just wanted to go back and rest early. He has already made up his mind that he will never take Jiraiya and Orochimaru out to eat again, unless Orochimaru and Jiraiya treat them. Then he will eat as much as he can and let Orochimaru and Jiraiya experience the feeling of washing dishes all night. Chapter 55 Senju Orange Water. After parting with Hitaki Sakumo, Jiraiya went straight to the Senju family's residence. Master Jiraiya, please come in quickly. As soon as I walked into the door of the Senju family, the servant at the door greeted me warmly. He also bowed to greet him, with an attitude that was more solemn than before. Because Tsunade had already told them yesterday that they must be respectful and enthusiastic when meeting Jiraiya. Jiraiya nodded and walked in. Then a servant followed closely behind to lead the way. The servant took Jiraiya to the most conspicuous attic in the courtyard. Tsunade was standing in front of the loft. Jiraiya. Tsunade smiled and waved when she saw Jiraiya. Now all I have to do is meet Jiraiya. Tsunade's mood would inexplicably improve. This must be the magic of love. Tsunade thought sweetly in her heart. Breakfast has been prepared for you. After you eat, I will take you to see Brother Orange Water. Tsunade very naturally took Jiraiya's hand and led him to the restaurant. There was a lot of food on the table. I made all these breakfasts myself. You are the first one to enjoy this kind of treatment. Tsunade said with a little pride, pointing at the table full of delicious food. She got up early this morning to prepare food for Jiraiya. Jiraiya was a little surprised. He didn't expect that Tsunade could cook, and the food looked delicious. It seems that if I marry Tsunade in the future, I will not only have S*X with her, but also have delicious food to eat. It tastes great, I hope I can eat it every day. After tasting a dish, Jiraiya began to praise it, with an expression of enjoyment on his face. You can definitely eat it every day if you want. Tsunade replied. Seeing Jiraiya enjoying his meal, she also felt very happy. She felt that all her hard work in the morning was not in vain. What kind of person is your brother? After breakfast, Jiraiya asked Tsunade. He's a very easygoing person, you don't need to be nervous. Tsunade replied. Why should I be nervous about meeting my uncle? Jiraiya shook his head. Tsunade blushed, but did not refute. Instead, she felt a little happy. The carefree Tsunade has a different flavor when she becomes shy. You should try to be more stable and leave a good impression on my brother, because all marriages of our Senju clan will be decided by him now. In fact, Tsunade is a little nervous now. I'm afraid Jiraiya and Senju Orange Water won't get along. Don't worry, I have prepared a gift for my brother-in-law and it will definitely make a good impression on him. Jiraiya said confidently. You know to prepare a gift for my brother, but don't you know to prepare a gift for me? Tsunade instantly felt jealous and slightly unhappy. Sure enough, women in any world are prone to jealousy. Jiraiya immediately felt a headache, which was something he had neglected. However, he quickly thought of a solution and said to Tsunade solemnly, actually, I also brought you a gift, but I don't know if you dare to accept it. What gift? As long as it's a gift from you, I will definitely accept it. Tsunade answered without thinking. That's my kiss. Jiraiya replied. Tsunade's face turned even redder, her breathing became faster, and she couldn't help but lower her head. Looking at Tsunade, there was no response. No response means consent. No matter how carefree Tsunade is, she is still a girl after all. In matters like this, I certainly won't be too proactive. Jiraiya lifted Tsunade's chin and kissed Tsunade's lips. Tsunade closed her eyes shyly, her whole body tensed up and became numb as if she had received an electric shock. Are you satisfied with this gift? Jiraiya asked, looking up. Tsunade nodded shyly. Now I just felt extremely happy and snuggled into Jiraiya's arms. It's time to take me to your brother. Jiraiya said to Tsunade. If he continued to be alone with Tsunade like this, he really couldn't help but take the next step. He didn't want to do that, he wanted to wait until he got the approval of the Senju clan, and then get Tsunade completely. If the Senju clan doesn't recognize him, after he gets Tsunade, it will only make it difficult for Tsunade to be caught between him and the clan. He didn't want to embarrass Tsunade. He has absolute confidence that he can make the Senju clan approve of him and Tsunade being together. And now that Tsunade has completely accepted him, there is no need to rush. Because the environment here at the dining table is really bad. Tsunade nodded, her face filled with happiness, and left the room with Jiraiya. Sister, why is your face so red? As soon as he walked out of the room, he saw Tsunade's brother, Senju Nawaki, walking out of another room and asked curiously. Tsunade's parents died in the war a long time ago, and now she and her brother are the only ones at home. Now Senju Nawaki is only 8 years old. Children shouldn't meddle in adult matters. Tsunade let go of Jiraiya's hand and said a little panicked. It's like being caught doing something bad. Sister, you are not much older than me, okay? If you don't want to tell me, forget it. I don't want to know. I'm going to practice. It won't be long before I can become the strongest man in the Senju clan. Senju Nawaki said angrily, and then ran off to practice. Tsunade took Jiraiya to meet Senju Orange Water. Senju Orange Water and second Hokage Tobirama look very similar, both have snow-white hair, wear blue ninja armor, and have extremely cold expressions. They don't look easy to get along with. In Jiraiya's opinion, Senju Orange Water's outfit seems to be imitating Senju Tobirama. It's quite showy. Senju Orange Water has always wanted to become a great ninja like Senju Tobirama, so his words and actions are deliberately imitated. Tsunade, I want to talk to Jiraiya alone, please wait outside. Senju Orange Water glanced at Jiraiya and said to Tsunade. Tsunade hesitated, then left the room. Senju Orange Water has a very high reputation among the Senju family. Tsunade was still very obedient to his words. The most important thing is that Tsunade believes that Senju Orange Water poses no threat to Jiraiya. If Senju Orange Water showed hostility towards Jiraiya, Tsunade would definitely not leave. She wouldn't let anyone hurt Jiraiya now. Even his own people. Jiraiya, I heard that you killed a Jonin alone during your last mission. Senju Orange Water said indifferently. That's right. Jiraiya also answered briefly. But what if I don't believe it? Senju Orange Water asked with a raised eyebrow. Then it seems that the only way to go is to take action. After all, nothing can convince people better than force, and nothing can make them believe it more. Jiraiya said with a smile on his face. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 56. Let's give it a try. Since Senju Orange Water doesn't believe in his strength, he can only beat Senju Orange Water until he believes in it. Although Senju Orange Water possesses the strength of an elite Jonin, Jiraiya is not afraid at all. With his current strength, even if he cannot defeat Senju Orange Water, he will definitely not lose to Senju Orange Water. Furthermore, if he wants to gain recognition from the Senju clan, he also needs to demonstrate strong strength. Otherwise, the Senju clan, as a top family in the past, would never agree to Tsunade being with him even if they are now in decline. After all, he was just a ninja of civilian origin, without any backing in Konoha, and could not provide help to the Senju clan. Although he is the apprentice of the Hokage is suppressing the Senju clan. This title of his doesn't work well among the Senju clan. Therefore, if he wants to be with Tsunade, he must demonstrate great talent and strength, so that the Senju will believe that he is capable of helping the Senju out of their predicament. After all, whether a big family is marrying off a daughter or marrying a wife, the most important thing for them is profit. Especially the Senju clan, they are in urgent need of strong allies. I hope your strength can match your courage. Senju Orange Water said with a smile, and a hint of admiration appeared in his eyes when he looked at Jiraiya. He was very satisfied with Jiraiya's straightforward character. Before we start, I have one thing to tell you. If your strength cannot satisfy me, you should stay away from Tsunade and do not do anything beyond the limit. Otherwise, the Senju clan will never let you go. I know Tsunade likes you very much now. You are indeed quite capable to make a sister like me like you. I do admire you for this. As Tsunade's brother, I have never eaten breakfast made by her, but she specially prepared breakfast for you today. You are the first one to receive such treatment. As a brother, I'm really envious. But there are some things that you should understand even if I don't tell you. Tsunade is a member of the Senju clan. Unlike those civilian ninjas, she bears the responsibility of protecting and revitalizing the Senju clan. Senju Orange Water said with a serious and solemn expression. After Tsunade returned to the family yesterday, he specifically wanted to introduce Jiraiya to him, and his words were full of praise. When talking about Jiraiya, Kakuzu's mouth would involuntarily rise slightly. At that time, Senju Orange Water knew that Tsunade was in love with Jiraiya. My sister was able to meet someone she liked and she took the initiative to introduce him her home. As an older brother, he was also very happy. But with the family's current situation, Tsunade can't be allowed to love freely. At this point, Senju Orange Water still felt that it had treated Tsunade unfairly. He now hopes that Jiraiya will have the strength to be recognized by the Senju clan. This way, there would be no need to force Tsunade to stay away from Jiraiya. It made his sister sad. Among all the ninja families in Konoha, in our generation, no one has better qualifications than me, and no one is stronger than me. As long as you give me some time, I can definitely help the Senju clan out of the predicament. He could naturally understand what Senju Orange Water meant. It's nothing more than the Senju clan wanting Tsunade to marry into a great ninja clan to strengthen their Senju clan's influence in Konoha. In the original work, after the outbreak of the Hokage War II, almost all members of the Senju clan died and only Tsunade was left, so their goal was not achieved. And even if the Senju clan really found a wealthy family for Tsunade, there is no way to change the current situation of the Senju clan. Because whether it is the Hokage faction or the major families in Konoha, they do not want the Senju clan to prosper again. Because the Senju clan is thriving again, their resources will naturally be squeezed out. But now that the Senju clan has fallen into a desperate situation, it seems that this is the only way they can go if they want to change their predicament. I admire your character very much. I hope you won't let me down next time. I don't want to make my sister sad. As long as your strength satisfies me, I will never stop you and Tsunade. Even if some elders in the clan are unwilling, I will help you solve it. Senju Orange Water promised. Where are we going to compete? Jiraiya asked. Go to the training ground. I will call some important clan members to watch our competition. As for whether you can control Tsunade, it depends on you. Senju Orange Water replied. Then I'll go to the training ground and wait for you. Jiraiya nodded and left the room. How was the talk with my brother? Tsunade, who was standing guard outside the door, asked nervously. We get along pretty well. Your brother wants to test my strength. We're going to compete in the training ground later. Don't be nervous. I will definitely let your family support you to be with me. Don't worry. Jiraiya consoled. Then you must be careful when fighting with my brother. His water-style ninjutsu is very powerful. He has almost learned all of my grandfather's water-style ninjutsu, and also learned some forbidden techniques. Tsunade reminded. Although Jiraiya could easily take out a Jonin, his brother was no ordinary Jonin. He has been an elite Jonin for a long time. You don't have to worry about me. You should worry about your brother now. I might accidentally hurt him. Jiraiya said with a smile. It would be great if you could injure him. He used to bully me when we were little. Just based on what you said, I will also teach my future brother-in-law a lesson. Jiraiya and Tsunade said as they walked towards the training grounds. As I walked into the training grounds, I saw Senju Nawaki working hard at his ninjutsu. Senju Nawaki was talented and worked very hard, but it was a pity that he died in World War II and even his organs were stolen. If he had not died in World War II, he might have been able to make the Senju clan rise again. Sister, do you like the brother next to you? Seeing Tsunade and Jiraiya walking into the training ground, Senju Nawaki stared at Jiraiya for a while and then asked Tsunade. Because Tsunade Jiraiya's love is already very obvious. The look in his eyes when he looked at Jiraiya was full of love. Others say it is Nawaki, and even a 3-year-old child can tell. Brother, if you also like my sister, then you're in trouble. Let me tell you, my sister has a very bad temper. She gets angry all the time, and she's very strong. When she hits people, it hurts a lot. If you live with her in the future, you will definitely be beaten every day. Senju Nawaki said with a serious face. I am here. Tsunade instantly became angry and punched Nawaki on the head. Oh, brother, you see, that's it. Nawaki cried out in pain while holding his head, and said to Jiraiya. Chapter 57 Water-Style Boundary. Don't say bad things about your sister in front of me anymore, or I'll hit you too. Jiraiya said, pumping his fist. In front of his brother-in-law and his wife, he must help his wife without hesitation. I'm kindly reminding you, but you didn't listen. Don't ask me to help you when you get beaten in the future. Senju Nawaki said angrily. Nawaki, you are not allowed to mess around with the guests. Just at this time Senju Orange Water walked into the training ground and said. There were 3 old men following behind him. None other than the 3 remaining Jonin of the Senju clan. The 3 old men all looked very old and were not far from death. Since the Senju clan was severely suppressed and lost a large number of new generations during the First World War, the number of young ninjas in the Senju clan is now very small, and the strongest is only an elite Chunin, and none of them has the strength of a Jonin. It is these 3 and Senju Orange Water that support the Senju clan. If the current situation of the Senju clan cannot be changed, the situation of the Senju clan will become even worse when the 3 of them grow old. So they attach great importance to Tsunade's marriage. They must help the Senju clan out of their predicament before they die. Otherwise, once they die, the Senju clan will be suppressed even more severely and will have no room to survive. Jiraiya, let's get started now. Senju Orange Water didn't say any more nonsense. Jiraiya nodded as well. The 2 walked to the center of the training ground and formed a fighting seal with each other. You make the first move. Senju Orange Water didn't want to take advantage of Jiraiya. Because his strength far exceeds Jiraiya's. And he also wanted to give Jiraiya a little more chance to show himself. So as not to be defeated by yourself too quickly. Now Senju Orange Water thinks that it will be easy for him to defeat Jiraiya. In fact, he was already prepared to let Jiraiya win and not let him lose too badly. He also didn't want Tsunade to become a political sacrifice. It's just that their family's current situation is too difficult, and he is powerless to change it. Jiraiya naturally would not refuse. He drew out the Thunder Fire Blade, performed the body flicker technique and rushed towards Senju Orange Water. Water Style. Senju Orange Water formed seals with his hands extremely quickly. Before Jiraiya could get close to him, a large amount of water spurted out of his mouth, forming waves that hit Jiraiya, almost sweeping across the entire open space of the training ground. There was no room for Jiraiya to dodge or move. As expected of the grandson of Senju Tobarama, the water-style ninjutsu he unleashed was extremely powerful. The power of the water style released by it is much greater than that of ordinary water-style ninjas. These water currents contain great power and can easily break rocks. If a flesh and blood body was hit by it, it would probably be squeezed into a bloody mist, and even the bones would be ground into powder. Senju Orange Water Battle stood on the waves, looking at Jiraiya indifferently. Secret technique, splitting void. Looking at the amazing waves, Jiraiya remained calm, holding the thunder and fire blade in his hand and swinging it forward quickly. There was a flash of white light, and the water in front of Jiraiya was directly cut by the white light, and the water rushed past him on both sides. The ninjutsu he performed was obtained from the system. It was through rapid friction of the air that blade light was formed to attack the enemy. It is somewhat similar to the original work where Might Guy opened the sixth gate and created his own Asako ninjutsu. However, Jiraiya's body is not that strong now, so he cannot perform continuous slashes, and can only perform single slashes now. Its power is comparable to some B-rank ninjutsu, but it can be performed extremely quickly and without the need for hand seals. I didn't expect you were good at swordsmanship. Senju Orange Water was very surprised, and then he formed seals with his hands. A large amount of water gushed out from under his feet, flowing around, and then began to quickly condense into water curtains, completely blocking this space. Senju Orange Water used the barrier technique to completely seal off this small area. Jiraiya had almost no room to dodge or evade. When I fight, I only like to fight head-on. I never like to dodge, and I don't like others to dodge. And you should not try to break the barrier I set up, because with your current strength, you can't break it, and it will be a waste of effort and chakra. Senju Orange Water said with a smile, raised his right hand upwards, and a stream of water rushed up into the sky, sealing the last blind spot in the sky. A barrier was completely completed. What an amazing amount of chakra. He was able to complete a barrier technique so easily. Jiraiya looked at the blocked surroundings and was very surprised. Because no matter which barrier technique is used, the amount of chakra consumed is extremely astonishing. But Senju Orange Water seemed to perform it easily and effortlessly. Being called one of the 8 colors of Konoha, it should not be underestimated. Senju Orange Water is definitely the strongest one he has fought against since he traveled through time. As for the Jonin he killed, if he faced Senju Orange Water, he would definitely be killed instantly. Senju Orange Water was already very strong during this period. It was only because he died in World War II that Hitaki Sakumo surpassed him. If Senju Orange Water had not died in World War II, its achievements would have been even greater. That's exactly what I want. Jiraiya nodded. A head-on confrontation is also the way of fighting he desires. Now Jiraiya felt his blood boiling. Water-style Water Dragon Bomb technique. Senju Orange Water Seal was formed, and a dragon emerged from the water under his feet, roaring and charging towards Jiraiya. Fire-style Dragon Fire technique. Jiraiya quickly formed seals with his hands, and a dragon-shaped flame spurted out of his mouth, instantly colliding with the Water Dragon Bomb technique. Boom! The two counteracting ninjutsu collided with each other and immediately cancelled each other out, forming a large amount of water mist that instantly filled the entire barrier. My sister told me that you are best at fire style. When you meet me, your fire style will not be able to show your true strength. Senju Orange Water said lightly. A raging fire can also dry up a river. Jiraiya replied. Water style ninjutsu does restrain fire style ninjutsu. It prevents fire style ninjutsu from exerting its original power. However, Jiraiya has abundant chakra in his body. As long as he injects a large amount of chakra into the ninjutsu, he can still make up for the gap. How long do you think this white-haired kid can last in Orange Water's hands? A ninja who comes from a commoner background, even if he is taught by that monkey, how strong can he be? He won't last long in Orange Water's hands. The swordplay he just displayed is quite interesting. Maybe he can really give us some surprises. The 3 remaining Jonin of the Senju clan spoke to each other as they watched the battle in the training ground. In fact, they all hope that Jiraiya can show great potential. Chapter 58. Fighting with Orange Water. In fact, what they most hope for is a powerful ninja from a commoner background to help their Senju clan out of their predicament. They also don't want to join forces with some big families. Because joining forces with some big families will definitely cost more. Because no matter how big a family it is, they will eat people without leaving any bones. Their Senju clan is so weak now, and even if they could ensure that the Senju clan would not be completely suppressed and disappear in Konoha by marrying into a large family, it would also come at a heavy price. The other party will definitely continue to absorb the resources of the Senju clan to expand their family. But if the ninjas were born as civilians, this would not be the case, because they have no family and do not need to fight for the interests of their family. However, among ninjas of civilian origin, it is difficult for them to become true geniuses due to their ordinary bloodlines. I hope Tsunade didn't make a mistake. The 3 Jonin of the Senju clan prayed in their hearts. Water style. Senju orange water sprayed a large amount of water cannons, attacking Jiraiya from all directions. Earth style multiple earth flow wall. Jiraiya slapped the ground hard, and earth walls rose up on all sides of him, blocking all the water cannons. Multiple earth flow wall is an advanced ninjutsu of earth flow wall, which can instantly summon multiple earth walls for defense. And its defensive power is also stronger than that of the earth flow wall. Water style water severing wave. A thin jet of ultra-high pressure water spurted out from Senju orange water's mouth at an extremely fast speed. This ninjutsu is extremely powerful in the water style, and even high-strength metal can be cut through it with ease. Boom, boom. In an instant, all the earth walls were cut off by the water columns. Jiraiya could only perform body flicker technique to start dodging. But the speed of the water column is extremely fast, and the space for dodging is extremely limited. One of Jiraiya's arms was accidentally hit by the water column, and a hole was instantly made on it, but no blood flowed out. Immediately afterwards, there was a loud bang, and the sound turned directly into a cloud of smoke. It's actually a clone. Senju orange water narrowed her eyes slightly and then looked at the ground. Since he hit the earth stand and Jiraiya disappeared, he must have used earth-style ninjutsu and escaped underground. Secret technique, splitting void. Before Senju orange water could find Jiraiya's position, Jiraiya had already jumped out from his left side, swung the thunderfire blade and slashed down, and a dazzling blade light burst out. Water-style water barrier. A huge water curtain rose on the left side of Senju orange water, blocking the knife edge. Fire-style flame tiger. Jiraiya directly threw out the thunder fire blade, and a large amount of fire attribute chakra exploded. Roar. A majestic tiger with flames burning all over its body rushed towards Senju orange water. Sensing the astonishing temperature emanating from the fiery tiger, Senju orange water's eyes couldn't help but become solemn. He had heard Tsunade talk about this ninjutsu. It was with this jutsu that Jiraiya defeated a Jonin. It should be Jiraiya's most powerful ninjutsu. Senju orange water was a little disappointed. He didn't expect Jiraiya to use his most powerful ninjutsu so quickly. This ninjutsu is indeed quite powerful, but it poses no threat to me. Water-style waterfall technique. As Senju orange water's seals fell, an extremely rich earth attribute chakra suddenly burst out from his body, forming a large amount of water flow, raising waves several meters high, and slammed towards the flame tiger, directly devouring the flame tiger and breaking this ninjutsu. The Great Falls technique is an A-level water-style ninjutsu with terrifying power. After performing such a jutsu, the chakra in your body must have been almost depleted. There is no need to continue this fight. Please leave. I don't want to hurt you. Senju orange water said as she looked at Jiraiya indifferently. In his opinion, Jiraiya didn't have a strong bloodline. After performing ninjutsu attacks so many times, the chakra in his body must be running low. Now Tsunade still likes Jiraiya. If he continued to fight, Jiraiya would be crippled if he wasn't careful. He didn't want to make his sister sad. Performing that jutsu just now did consume a lot of my chakra. But as you speak, the chakra I consumed has been restored. Jiraiya said with a smile that using the fire-style flame tiger ability would consume 20% of his chakra. But he has the sage body, 2 layers of chakra, which can be extracted directly from cells in almost no time. As long as he doesn't continuously perform large-scale S-level ninjutsu or the forbidden technique that consumes a lot of chakra, his chakra is almost infinite. Sage body is no joke. You know, in the original novel, Hashirama can get whatever he wants with just a clap of his hands. Restoring chakra is as easy as drinking water and eating. Kakashi, who is short of mana, just wanted to jump up and down and curse. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Senju orange water was a little confused when she heard what Jiraiya said. This is human language. When did chakra recover so well? He is a genius ninja of the Senju clan and has inherited many of the talents of Senju Tobirama. The amount of chakra in his body and the speed at which chakra recovers are far beyond those of ordinary ninjas. But compared to Jiraiya's speed, it's nothing. Could it be that this guy also has a special bloodline? Senju orange water's eyes lit up, and she suddenly became excited. If Jiraiya also has special blood, he would be a civilian ninja. This is exactly the talent that the Senju clan urgently needs to attract. Earth-style sky drop cover. Jiraiya formed seals with his hands and shouted loudly, and saw that the space above the Senju orange water was distorted, and a circular space node appeared. A layer of soil with a slightly reddish color suddenly fell from the alien space. Jiraiya is already good at Earth-style, and with his expertise in hand seals, he is already able to perform Earth-style sky falling cover and Earth-style sky falling clay, but he has not yet reached the level of a Grandmaster, so there is still a lot of room for improvement. I didn't expect that the Hokage would teach you this Earth style. It seems that he thinks highly of you. Sensing the abnormality above his head, Senju orange water calmly formed a seal, neither hurried nor slow, explode the water column. There were 3 water columns under his feet, which condensed in an instant and rushed towards the earth cover. Boom! With a loud bang, the earth cover was shattered into pieces and turned into broken soil falling from the air. The same 3 water columns also exploded into a large number of water droplets, which fell to the ground with a crackling sound. Even if I use it reluctantly, I still can't bring out the power of this ninjutsu. Jiraiya sighed slightly as the skyfall cover was broken so easily. I don't believe you can easily block the next ninjutsu. Jiraiya quickly formed seals with both hands. Pa! Pa! Tiny arcs of lightning and faint flashes of lightning began to appear within the barrier. Chapter 59 Thunder God's Sword. Senju orange water is extremely powerful. It is impossible to hurt him with ordinary ninjutsu. Using some more ninjutsu would only waste chakra and would not pose any threat to Senju orange water. So Jiraiya wanted to use the S-level secret lightning style ninjutsu 10,000 Thunder's heavenly prison induction that he obtained by signing in today. Since the Senju clan wanted to test his strength, he would show his strength. Let the Senju clan know that Tsunade did not choose the wrong person. He is able to help the Senju clan out of trouble. Pa! Pa! As Jiraiya continued to cast seals, more and more thunder appeared in the barrier. Senju orange water's pupils shrank suddenly, and her expression became solemn as she watched the thunder that kept appearing in the barrier. He sensed danger from these thunders. He could feel that Jiraiya was performing a very powerful ninjutsu. He wanted to stop him, but Jiraiya's hand seals were extremely fast. He had no time to stop it. Because his surroundings were now filled with thunder flashing with dazzling blue light. Heavenly Prison. Jiraiya completed his last seal and let out a loud roar. A large amount of lightning condensed in the barrier. There were dozens of lightning bolts as thick as bowls, and each of them exuded extremely destructive power. As Jiraiya's palm fell, all these thunders attacked Senju orange water at a speed that could not be captured by the naked eye. What kind of lightning-style jutsu is this that has such powerful power? At this time, the entire barrier was flashing with dazzling lightning, and the situation inside could no longer be seen from outside the barrier. The 3 Jonin of the Senju clan all looked shocked at the scene before them. Because they all felt the tremendous power from Jiraiya's lightning-style ninjutsu. If the 3 of them were to face Jiraiya's move, they would know that they would have no way to block it and would only die under this horrific thunder. Dozens of thunderbolts as thick as bowls were as powerful as the might of heaven. This shouldn't be a ninjutsu from the village. I've never seen anyone in the village perform this ninjutsu. This jutsu is far more powerful than an A-level jutsu. It must be an S-level jutsu. Jiraiya and Tsunade are the same age, but at just 15, he has already mastered an S-level jutsu. His talent is not bad. After performing this jutsu, the 3 Jonin of the Senju clan were extremely satisfied with Jiraiya. To be able to master an S-level ninjutsu at such a young age is already a rare genius. They are not worried about Senju orange water either. Because they understand the strength of Senju orange water. Even if I can't block this ninjutsu. At most, you will suffer some minor injuries, but your life will definitely not be in danger. I didn't expect you to be so strong. I have to work hard on my training and can't let him get too far behind me. Otherwise, if he's in danger in the future, I won't be able to help him. Tsunade looked at the lightning running in the barrier with an equally shocked look in her eyes, and whispered softly. Nice Haki's jutsu, sister. You have really good taste. Senju Nawaki also looked at Jiraiya with admiration. Boom, boom. Within the barrier, the deafening sound of thunder continued to be heard. A large amount of thunder was still raging, impacting the location where Senju orange water was. At this moment, a thunder ball has formed where Senju orange water is standing, and the surrounding land has been cracked by the splashing thunder. After a few breaths, all the thunder disappeared, and the lightning chakra released by Jiraiya had been completely consumed. Performing 10,000 Thunder's heavenly prison induction consumed almost half of Jiraiya's chakra. If it were an ordinary ninja, even if he consumed so much chakra, he would still not be able to defeat the enemy or would not be able to seriously injure the enemy. Then the only way is to run away. Because once the chakra is exhausted, the ninja is extremely vulnerable. During the battle, it is impossible for a ninja without special bloodline to quickly recover chakra. This doesn't happen with Jiraiya. After a large amount of chakra stored in his body was consumed, the chakra in the cells was quickly extracted and began to fill the consumed chakra. What a powerful lightning-style ninjutsu. If I didn't have the Thunder God's sword, I would have been seriously injured by you. After all the thunder dissipated, Senju Orange Water stood in a water ball, holding a ninja sword flashing with lightning in his hand. Senju Orange Water now looks a little funny. His originally white hair has turned into curly hair, and some places have been burnt. The blue ninja tools he wears have a lot of cracks, and his aura is much weaker than before. Wanlei Heavenly Prison did not seriously injure Senju Orange Water, but only caused him some minor injuries. The reason for this situation is not because the power of 10,000 Thunder's Heavenly Prison is weak. Judging from the strength shown by Wanlei Heavenly Prison Yin, it can easily kill ordinary Jonin. Ordinary Jonin would have no chance to fight back under such a terrifying attack. Senju Orange Water is able to block Heavenly Prison's 10,000 Thunders with water style, mainly relying on the sword in his hand. Most of the power of Wanlei Heavenly Prison was blocked. Only a small amount of thunder power penetrated the water-style defense set up by Senju Orange Water. Nadime's sword is indeed unusual. Looking at the ninja sword emitting lightning, Jiraiya couldn't help but think in his heart. The name of that sword is Thunder God Sword, which is the sword of second Hokage Senju Tobirama. It is also made of special metal and contains the power of thunder. It can play a great auxiliary role in cracking various lightning-style ninjutsu. Under the observation of the Eye of Insight, Jiraiya saw clearly that most of the thunder power released by the Heavenly Prison was transferred to the ground by Senju Orange Water with the help of this sword. It can be said that this ninja tool is also extremely powerful in the Hokage world. Orange Water, there is no need to compete any further. Just then, one of the three Jonin of the Senju clan spoke up. With Jiraiya's current performance, he has already met their expectations, so there is naturally no need for him to continue fighting with Senju Orange Water. Then the three Jonin of the Senju clan turned and left. Your strength did not disappoint me. You have passed the test of our Senju clan. Senju Orange Water waved her hand to remove the barrier and said to Jiraiya with a smile. The attitude is much better than before. Jiraiya is the man Tsunade likes. Talent and strength have also been recognized. Naturally, he no longer needed to put on a cold face. Chapter 60 I didn't expect you to be such a Orange Water. But then again, you were really rude. If I didn't have this ninja sword, I'm afraid I wouldn't even have a hair left. Senju Orange Water touched her half-burnt hair and said with a little heartache. He is the patriarch of the Senju clan and bears the responsibility of strengthening the Senju clan. If you want to expand your family, you must first increase the population. In order to achieve this goal, he often hooks up with the wives next door or those who stay behind. He had finally managed to have a lively conversation with the left-behind wife next door a few days ago, and their relationship was about to take a step further. Now his hair is ruined and his image is greatly affected. I'm afraid this matter will be ruined. Senju Orange Water felt a little heartbroken when he thought of the long legs of the left-behind wife moving away from him. I have to try my best to prove myself because I don't want to miss Tsunade. If I hold back, there is a high chance that I will miss Tsunade. I will not let that happen no matter what. Jiraiya replied. Tsunade on the side smiled sweetly. She also knew that Jiraiya's competition with Senju Orange Water was entirely for her. Well said. Once your chakra recovers, I will take you to see the three elders. They have something to ask you. Senju Orange Water patted Jiraiya's shoulder in satisfaction and said. Why do you want to restore chakra? Jiraiya asked. You just performed that lightning-style ninjutsu, which should have almost exhausted the chakra in your body. If you don't restore it, don't you feel weak now? Asked Senju Orange Water. Performing a terrifying lightning style like the one just now would definitely consume a lot of chakra. I believe that Jiraiya's chakra must have been almost exhausted. I've almost recovered enough to talk to you. Jiraiya said with a smile. Quote. Senju Orange Water was stunned for a moment and didn't know what to say for a moment. Damn, isn't this terrifying recovery speed a bit too much? It only took such a short time to restore the whole body's chakra. Senju Orange Water felt greatly shocked. You have to know that it will take at least half a day for him to recover the chakras in his body, and he has to rely on their family's secret recovery pills to do it. You know, even so, he is the only one in the entire Senju clan who can be so fast. And in the entire Konoha village, this chakra recovery speed is considered to be extremely top-notch. He was a little complacent before. But after hearing what Jiraiya said, he was shocked. I just feel like a waste. Tsunade has good vision. He must have some powerful bloodline hidden in his body, otherwise, this would never happen. Senju Orange Water is now almost certain that Jiraiya is also a genius ninja with special bloodline. But Senju Orange Water did not ask, because rashly inquiring about other people's blood power would make people feel annoyed. Because every ninja tries to keep his bloodline abilities secret. Then let's go now. Senju Orange Water's tone became more enthusiastic. Brother, now that your hair has become like this, you should be able to calm down a bit. Don't climb over other people's walls or chat with their wives anymore. Tsunade spoke up to the Senju Orange Water. Jiraiya gave Senju Orange Water a weird look. I didn't expect Senju Orange Water to have such a habit. Sister, please don't talk nonsense. I am not talking nonsense. My purpose is to strengthen the Senju clan. I just want to leave more descendants for our Senju clan. Senju Orange Water immediately said in a very serious tone. Awesome, sleeping with someone else's wife and letting others raise their children, yet he can say it so openly. I really admire him. Jiraiya felt a little respect for Senju Orange Water in his heart. I didn't expect that there would be such talents in the ninja world. But it must be said that this is indeed a way to strengthen the Senju clan. Even if the Senju clan is destroyed, the children left outside in this way can still survive. But there is a risk in doing so. That is, once discovered, it is easy to be hacked to death. Brother, I will work hard to grow up as quickly as possible and help you share the responsibility of revitalizing the family. I won't let you work so hard anymore. Senju Nawaki said this with great respect, and then continued to practice hard. Could it be that this kid is practicing so hard just to make it easier for him to climb over other people's walls in the future? Jiraiya couldn't help but guess in his heart. Senju Nawaki must not be led astray by Senju Orange Water. Nawaki, brother, I'm still young and can handle it. Senju Orange Water touched her waist and shouted to Nawaki. Brother, I am also a member of the Senju clan. Protecting the clan is my responsibility since I was born. I absolutely cannot let you shoulder this responsibility alone. Senju Nawaki responded. Senju Orange Water sighed. It seemed that he had to work harder and win over all the wives around him as soon as possible, otherwise, strong rivals would appear in the future. Brother, if you dare to teach Nawaki to do that kind of thing, I will never forgive you. Tsunade said to Senju Orange Water with murderous intent on his face. Don't worry, sister. There's no way I can teach Nawaki something like this. I can handle it all by myself. What a joke, there was no way he would take the initiative to teach Senju Nawaki about something like this. Now his kidneys are still in very good condition. Don't keep the elders waiting any longer, just go over there quickly, Tsunade said. Jiraiya followed Orange Water to the Senju clan's meeting hall. The 3 Jonin of the Senju clan have already taken their seats in the meeting hall. Sit down, one of the Jonin said with a smile on his face. Jiraiya and Senju Orange Water sat on both sides. Jiraiya, the lightning style you used earlier doesn't seem to be the village's jutsu. The great elder of the Senju clan asked. Senior, the lightning style I just used should strictly be considered an ninjutsu of the village. Why have I never seen or heard of such a jutsu from the village's lightning style ninja? Before Jiraiya could finish his words, the 3rd elder of the Senju clan spoke impatiently. He was already quite old, and he knew all of Konoha's powerful lightning style ninjas. But none of them has mastered the terrifying lightning style yet. Senior, it's normal that you haven't seen this ninjutsu, because this ninjutsu was developed after I returned to the village after completing the mission. This is my own ninjutsu. Jiraiya replied. Hiss. As soon as Jiraiya finished speaking, there was a sound of people gasping in shock in the room. The 3 elders and Senju Orange Water all widened their eyes at the same time. Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audiobook to stay updated with our latest stories. And never miss out on a great listen.